Reminders from last session. Find a way to kill the nearly nude Nord. The Khajiit have won, brackets, now retire. Khajiit maybe want new accommodation. The guards heard a shout of guards. I think that was in Castle Dower. Revere and Arnulf need their story straight. They're not here at the moment. There are 2 bodies in the cell with them. That's Goran and the Revere lookalike. And you've got about a day left till Ulfric's army arrives, which you can probably see around the city. Like, people are rushing to fortify the walls. There's a curfew being hastily imposed. It's a whole thing. Cool. Who would like to go first? We could do Yunbrick, or we could do Team Khajiit.
You know what? Do you mind if I go first? Because Team Khajiit's a little short on numbers right now, I suppose.
Well, we've got both of Team Khajiit.
Oh yeah, I forget Nick doesn't count anymore because
we're fairly likely to just idle around anyway. So go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah. For a second, Ewan, sorry, I was totally distracted by your thumbnail. It looks like you've got your foot up behind you, like you're doing that sort of, like you're about to start chatting to someone. You're on the phone to them or something. It looks like you've legit got your foot up behind you like this. It's the cat stand.
Yeah, what you're talking about.
I'll draw it out later for you.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to, I guess, I should not have pushed him in the river. Why did I do that? Can I rewind time? Can I start filling with my shit to rewind time?
I mean, even if you ordinarily could, you have a device on you activated which specifically blocks that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's very true. When you said, you did say that the device has the power to destroy reality, and I wasn't quite getting where you were coming from with that angle of thinking. Like, in terms of, is it if I put it on nearly noon? This is all meta.
You have, on a meta level, you have built a save corruption device.
Cool. That is what you meant. Okay, I assumed it was something along those lines then. Cool. Okay, yeah. This power I wield unknowingly. Cool. Yeah, I am going to try and... Oh, what is subterfuge face based off, by the way?
Presumably dexterity.
There is no dex. I assume it would be
Agility, sorry.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm near the page for that, maybe.
Cool. Okay. I am going to... Yeah, I'm going to stealth him. It's not stealth, sorry. Subterfuge him, sorry.
Subterfuge can be agility, intelligence, or personality.
Oh, wow. Then I actually got that at 75% cost then.
Sorry, I think that would probably be agility in this.
Oh, okay. Sure. No worries then.
Yeah, sorry, one slight, because he's currently in the river.
I mean, like, to buy it, though, the XP cost to buy it.
Oh, sure.
Wasn't something. Anyway, it doesn't matter, last session.
As far as your reverse pickpocketing goes, you are currently trying to buy... currently trying to buy? What am I talking about? He is currently in the river.
Cool. Anyway, does it look like if I jump down into it, I will be able to go up to him? Or is it shallow enough I can stand in it? Or are we at the mouth of some sort of...
He's treading water. You're at the mouth of the largest river in Skyrim.
Okay.
Does swimming consume stamina?
Presumably if you have to do it for like a really long period of time, but not for a few minutes, I wouldn't have thought. Like if you're swimming for half an hour or something, sure.
How cold is the water there, though? Is it freezing?
Extremely cold.
You can only tread water in extremely cold water. You can tread for about a minute before you start getting hypothermia related.
Yeah, but game logic. Remember, he's been nearly naked in Skyrim this whole time and never once suffered hypothermia.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you've seen him like climbing up mountains in nothing but a loincloth.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd go for it anyway.
No, I mean, it's a valid concern. It's a valid concern for yourself.
No worries. If he's treading water... Are there any sort of, like, life-saving things, like poles or rings to, like, pull people in if they look like they're drowning on the banks of the river or on the bridge?
I mean, they've probably got a pole or something.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to grab a pole and just poke him towards the, to see if I can either hook him or push him over to the other side of the riverbank or hook him onto my side.
As you're doing it, an NPC kind of walks up to you. He's Ooh, I lost everyone from...
Yeah, a Discord just went down, I think.
Oh, I've got you.
Roll 20 went down for me. I just refreshed.
I'm just reloading.
No.
No, that's just bomb.
This is the nearly nude Nord fighting back.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ollie.
He's going so meta.
A helpful high elf kind of walks up to you and... Excuse me, what are you doing here? You seem to be harassing this gentleman.
Oh, no, I'm trying to get him back onto the riverbank, so I want him to survive.
Just pushed him into the water.
No, I tripped. I tripped so badly, straight into him. I'm so oblivious, I just didn't see what was happening in front of my own eyes.
Walking into him the whole time to push him into that river.
I am so oblivious. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I was just looking at this new device I've just built, and sorry, the calculations got me completely caught up. You know how it is to be an academic. You look like an academic man yourself.
So as you kind of point him towards the device and vaguely, presumably thrust it in his direction, he
just like, oh yeah.
What? Why is he...
So he said vaguely thrust in his direction.
Oh, I see. The high elf kind of seems to twitch a little bit on the spot, and then sort of pass backwards in time.
Cool, I fucking leg it. I'm disappearing from him. I'm going down to the bank.
You hear a chorus of screams go up behind you as people see this man visibly kind of juttering backwards through time, walking up to where you were with a stern "I'm going to help someone" look on his face, and then glitching backwards. Where were you running off to, sorry?
So we were on a bridge, right? So I'm going to go...
On a dock. Pier, even, I think.
Oh, we're on a pier?
By the dockside, rather.
Okay, I guess I'm more just going to... Is there a way I can bring the nearly nude Nord close by going to another close-by pier and bringing him over to my side?
Alright, so you rush off for a little bit, give it a couple of minutes, then look back to see what's happening, and there's a crowd of people gathered around that guy, and also trying desperately to fish the nearly nude Nord out of the river. They keep crying at him to, grab the pole, but you can tell, even though you can't see, that he's very visibly not grabbing it. Eventually, a couple of people dive in and start hauling him back onto the bank.
Nice. Okay. I will... When they bring him onto the bank... Okay, I'm debating whether between asking if I can just set him on fire and be like, this is how you stop people getting frostbite.
I think it is unlikely people would believe that.
I somewhat believe you may think.
Mulling things over, you hear a cry go up of, "Send for the court wizard, there's something wrong!"
Oh god.
If only we had an assassin there, that would be very helpful.
A nearby cat walks in front of your path, but it seems quite short, and as you look down, you see that its feet have sort of passed through the floor with a red sort of squelchy mist. As its bones jab up against the cobblestones, it continues to pound itself, wriggling forwards until it's nothing but a tiny bloody toupee, trying to force its way through the floor.
I think Catclop got that. They have terrible endurance.
Both horrified and hilarious.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to where the nearly nude Nord is. Is there any sort of fire close to me?
Will we in the late evening, right? As I recall. Because this was just after the explosion. Ulfric's
just after the explosion, yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah, so yeah. There'll be like a variety of street torches. You're on the dock front, so it's fairly well lit.
Cool, so... okay, so the issue is if I set him on fire, there's a good chance he's just going to reload, right? He's just going to reload the save. But if I'm close to him...
You have your device for stopping that.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I don't have to put the device on him if I'm close to him, right? I can just stop him from doing whatever the fuck he's going to do.
Yeah, you just need to be close to him.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to do that then. I'm going to find a source of fire, take it with me, and go out to Nearly Nude Nord. And I'm going to be like, I'm coming through, I'm bringing light, or some bullshit like that.
You're currently surrounded by a variety of people, and he is admittedly not wearing clothes, but otherwise soaking wet. So setting a light to him is going to be a bit of a hard pitch.
I just need some pitch. That's all I need. I need some soft pitch.
Sure. Do you have any?
What are the torches? Are they pitch drenched, or are they?
I would think so, but probably not enough that you can just liberally arson with them. Oh, you've kind of cut out for me, Ollie.
Blankets or anything like that close to me? Like, is anyone passing by that going to be like, oh, I need to give a blanket to that poor man there?
Yeah, you can send up waltz up and send up a cry for someone to go get blankets for him, I guess.
Cool.
I think you might need to be a little, not necessarily massively more subtle, but take into account the fact that there is a crowd there when you.
Yeah, but they're all going to be resetting in a second anyway. I mean, they're only going to be staying where they are, but they can't run after me. I suppose I do need to be close to him.
Yeah.
Do they have?
I'm sorry.
Did they have ambulance carts? Is that something that exists? Do they haul people off who need a hand, like on ambulances?
Yeah, they got carts. You'd probably be dealing more with 2 guards and a stretcher.
I wonder if I can convince people that this man is clearly hurt and needs to go on a cart to the nearest infirmary.
I mean, yeah, that seems to be what the crowd is sort of hurriedly discussing right now. What to do? Do we wait for the cold wizard to come down? Do we someone get the fucking infirmary cart?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna. Is there someone who I can talk to? Is there someone with a cart close by and be like, we need to get this man to hospital now? Drive the cart. We'll put the man in the back. I'll ride with him to the infirmary.
Yeah, you can try and take command of the situation, see if you can organise this really rather impromptu assassination. He's still stayed pretty stock-stonily still.
Really should have bought command for this. Oh well.
Let's take a look. Well, I mean, it could have been worse. You could have just bought 6 ranks of subterfuge.
It's only 3.
Quick.
Actually, to be fair, I don't mind having that. It's something I've been wanting for a little while anyway, so I don't particularly view it as a loss.
Yeah, I mean, I will always say if you think a purchase is fun, then it is a good purchase. Unless it's a talent, in which case I told you not to do it, and I'm disappointed. Cool, so I would say that is probably going to be command of personality, but the crowd is definitely looking for someone to take charge and organise, so I will give you a +10.
Yeah, okay, so that's a net +0 then, over personality, which is PRS?
Yes.
No idea if it's going to work.
Now we've got a young Nicholas appeared.
I'm going to... No, I didn't make that.
No. The crowd are still somewhat indeterminate. People are saying, but look at the guy! Just... God, what's a slightly less gamey term for glitching? Look at the Heil teleporting backwards through time! Pointing back to the guy who came up to speak to you, still wearing a look of grim determination. You hear a shriek behind you as someone discovers the cat toupee still moving tufts over the floor.
Oh no. And everyone else who's close to me right now is going to start fucking teleporting out of time. I'm going to have to start walking backwards. I'm going to have to real quickly learn how to do the moonwalk to make it appear like I've teleported.
I can appear and say, the fuck are you doing? Stop it.
I'm trying to unsuccessfully set a wet man on fire. It's basically the long and short of it. Yeah, cool.
I've heard that.
Okay. Shit, Okay. Fuck it. I'm gonna wait for the infirmary cart to come along. Someone's already shouted for it. There needs to be one.
It's very true. You know what? Who do you want to come for? I mean, it sounds like you want the infirmary before you want the court wizard, so I will take a luck roll, please, Ollie. Just a simple luck roll.
So, 31 or under.
Lucky number?
46. No, unfortunately not. Though I suppose I have 1 luck point to spend. Can I re-roll a luck roll? With a luck point?
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to.
No, is the answer to that.
Huh. Sorry, the court wizard of solitude is a vampire, which I did not realise.
Is it daytime?
No, it's the evening. And also it's Skyrim, so they can be out in the day if they've fed recently.
Oh, God, you're right, yeah.
I can't remember. Vampires are usually considered like, wow, you just chose to become a vampire, didn't you?
Yeah, vampires, you do not like vampires in general, with some exceptions. To be fair, this is... Okay, so it's a Skyrim gameplay vampire, but Skyrim lore vampires are somewhat scarier. Skyrim gameplay vampires are basically Cyrodiil vampires. It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I suppose the court wizard can come along.
She gets there first, actually. Sybil Stentor seems to appear out of nowhere. A well-cut, well-dressed Breton wizard in mighty imperial robes. Her hood
staying far away from them. I am staying far away from them.
Like, conveniently hiding your device behind your back, hoping the glowing doesn't give too much away from your position in that alleyway you spotted the cat from.
When you say it like that, it sounds silly.
She examines the high elf. I said half elf then. The high elf over and over again from every angle. Then announces to the crowd, "This is powerful and dangerous magic. I cannot be sure what's at work here.
He's got timeitis.
Whatever it is a blasphemy against the 8 divines.
7 divines.
9 divines.
You must all leave this area. We are putting this section of the docks under quarantine as soon as we get this other guy out of here."
I'm going to follow the other guy out of here when... I'm going to go ahead, actually. I'm going to try and... I'm just going to walk a little bit further ahead of where I think they're probably going to try and dump the guy.
Yeah, you kind of proceed with the crowd in an orderly fashion. Do you have a cloak or something?
Yeah, I've got clothes on.
Do you have a cloak?
Yes, I have clothes on.
I have common clothes. I guess I don't. I have wherever I've been keeping. I do though have a delicate craft engineer's toolbox, so I can just put it in there.
No, Ollie.
Engineer's toolbox.
Your engineer's toolbox is not.
He wants to hide you.
No, I do want to hide the device, Carl. But he's got this big glowing time distortion device, right? Which is about the size of a rifle, is how we've described it so far. It does not fit inside your already full engineer's toolbox.
No, I've always described it as like 3 concentric rings that spin around on the side of each other. You know, classic timey-wimey bullshit.
That's still quite big.
Oh yeah, but it's like...
I didn't say the shape of a rifle, I said the size of the rifle. Yeah, or the size of half a rifle.
Okay.
Still, it does not fit in your engineer's toolbox, which is a toolbox.
Okay.
I was just imagining one of the generic gems Skyrim stuff with a name.
I mean, I'm just going to do the classic then. I've got a big old beer belly because I'm a filthy commoner then. I'll just put it underneath there and pretend my stomach could be
just hope that no one notices the eerie glowing coming from under your shirt.
It's Skyrim making weirder.
Fortunately, as you proceed to what you think looks like about the edge of the now imposed quarantine zone, as a surprisingly small amount of guards turn up on the urgent orders of the court wizard to quarantine this terrifying time distortion field that suddenly appeared in the Solitude docks, you see that, yeah, you're actually not the weirdest person walking away in the crowd. There's one other who seems to be burping rhythmically, but the burps are kind of interrupted and then start again as they walk. Interrupt, start again, interrupt, start again, interrupt, start again. There's another who you notice is doing the same thing as the cat earlier, where they're forcing their feet through the geometry of the world. They don't seem to have noticed anything wrong, but the second someone next to them sees the sticky trail of red they've walked through, looks down and screams, then they kind of figure out what's happening. But even when they stand still on the spot, they're still grinding into the ground.
How are they grinding into the ground? Oh god, I've created human drilling machines. This is a lucrative adventure in another place in another time.
The nearby court wizard goes up. Quarantine them too! Guards, the entire crowd! Lock down the docks! You see the slightly forlorn ambulance cart just approaching the edge of the docks. How badly do you want this cart, Ollie?
I want it pretty bad, yeah.
Okay. You hear the discussion even from a distance. The guards telling the cart, if you come in, then you are not leaving. We're under quarantine. Emergency quarantine.
Oh, this is getting too better.
The noble medical staff say, damn it, we've got a job to do. We're doctors. Rush past the guards. One of them stops to try and treat the guy who's dragging himself through the floor, still screaming down to his thighs at this point, rapidly bleeding out, trying to haul him away, but it's not quite working. The other guy rushes up to nearly naked Nord and the court wizard, getting into a blazing argument in the process with the court wizard, still trying to attend to the high elf warping through time. Warping, there we go.
God, so much going on. Oh, this is great. Part of me is very happy that I finally got to this point in the pen and paper where I can cause not this much chaos, but this type of chaos.
What do? Yunbreak.
Nearly nude Nord is still by the court wizard, or have they been dragged up a little bit?
Nearly nude Nord is still by the court wizard. The physician, now being yelled at by the court wizard to get the hell out of there, or the doctor rather, is putting a blanket around nearly nude Nord, trying to warm him up as he's transparently frozen, having just come out of the cup. But even from this distance, you can see that he's not shivering.
I still have my my torch on me, right?
Yes, I suppose so. Can't think of
Cool. I'm going to run over and pretend to be a concerned citizen.
As you rush forwards, Sybil Stentor, the court wizard of solitude, whirls around, levels a finger at you. And you! No, what is that under your shirt? Looks at your glowing belly. Citizen! You've been infected with something. Stay very still.
I'm going to divert, I'm going to run up to her, then run away.
You're going to run straight at her.
I'm not going to run straight at her. I presumably by this point I'm aware of how big the field is around me. I have an idea.
I don't think you are, actually. It's just been affecting random people. It's not visible.
Okay, in which case then...
screams coming from several nearby houses. You can't tell why, but you can guess.
See a bucket ping out a window somewhere.
As you're rushing towards them, a fish falls from the sky. Just lands on the floor.
Oh, God.
Next to you.
Ollie's just started pulling that one thread in your clothes. He's just pulling it more and more and more and more.
I'm not causing people to. I'm not causing people to restart time. I'm causing just glitches in the game code. Sorry, bugs in the game code. I've been a QA tester for 5 years. I shouldn't say the word glitches.
No.
You shouldn't.
Oh my god! I'm actually breaking. I've come full circle.
Yeah, Ollie, if you would just stop putting bugs in games. It's not a video game, it's pen and paper.
Okay, so I'm gonna run by her. I'm not gonna run near her. I'm gonna, I don't know, just pretending like I'm affected as well.
Citizen, stop! She's clearly actually immediately assumed that is the case. Her hands are up in a I might need to cast destruction magic and vaporize you, because your stomach's glowing, and that's not correct. Don't care what the hell you say. But also, people are doing weird shit, and the physician was kind of sorry, Carl?
I was just saying, it's a potion, I swear.
Do potions glow? I don't think potions glow.
Depends what sort of potions you've been making.
That's true.
He's using a fire bug. I think they're huge.
What, just swallowed a big girthy bug?
Yep.
Oh. You know what?
What is it, the woman that ate a spider?
You really, if something is glowing, if you're glowing,
she swallowed a fly. That's the one. Then she swallowed a spider to catch the fly, and then she swallowed something else to catch that, and then something else, and then finally
the only thing you remember from that lovely children's story is the spider. Sorry, that got me right in the childhood. I didn't mean to be so harsh, but like,
I mean, I imagine it affects you especially because you just really don't like
I'm
spiders.
not a fan. Sorry, Ollie, what are we doing?
Cool. I'm gonna pretend like I'm affected, and I'm gonna run up to the nearly nude Nord and put my flame and staff on the blanket.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it there. It's going on the blanket.
Well, it is by definition a dry blanket. So I think let's see what your reaction times are like versus the defensive wizard. I will take athletics over agility, please.
I have evade.
At a plus 10. Oh, sorry, do you have evade?
Mm-hmm.
No, I still think this would probably be athletics, right? Because it's not that you're trying to dodge her, because she does believe that you're affected by whatever's going on. Your stomach is glowing.
I'm going to take that as well. I've got 2 ranks in athletics, so that's a plus 20? Plus 10?
Plus 10 if it's 2 ranks, because remember, first rank's plus 0.
Oh, yeah, plus 10, so I always forget. Cool, so plus 10, so 50 or under then.
I
I make it.
What were you going to say, Nicholas?
said stamina, but I think that's strength or endurance, not agility.
Yeah, it's not agility, I'm afraid.
I actually have like quite a high amount of stamina, I believe. No, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know.
You do indeed make it. So, acting erratically, by which I mean glowing, rushing forwards, staring straight at the affected man, you manage to get through before the court wizard, before Sybil Stentor has anything she can really do to figure out that, oh no, you're clearly just faking this. So you rush up and put the torch to the towel. The doctor screams, "No!" as it immediately catches. And the nearly naked Nord, currently no longer nearly naked, begins burning alive. Looks at his cart. The doctor looks at his cart for anything to help. There's nothing in there. Ah! Bull rushes the guy and starts trying to push him into the Carth.
Can I cast Burden on him, or are all my spells self?
Now I will take an evade, please, Ollie, as Sybil Stentor whips out the paralysis spell.
Sure. Okay, evade, novice, 0. I assume that's also an agility?
Yeah, I would think it's an agility.
Cool, so this is now 40 or under. I make it, 2 degrees of success.
Yep, you duck under that glowing green orb. Sorry, is everyone comfortable with us just doing the big Ollie Palooza?
Oh, yes.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, either way I win, so.
Looking like a true Carl.
I think at this point in time, you all had just gone back in for back massages, if I recall correctly, after watching
That's a win.
After watching the fire begin to spread over Lower Solitude. So yeah, a lot of this district is actually currently burning, which is why there are fewer guards enforcing the quarantine than might be like.
Time to go for my nightly prowl as well in a minute.
I don't think you're in the city, are you? Didn't you rush out?
I was resting in a little building.
No, you were hiding.
Oh, you were in the docks area, weren't you?
I was in the docks.
Very true. Yes, but we did clarify that
I wasn't near the explosion.
He's
Yeah.
not near the explosion, and I'm not going to make young Nicholas burn to death off screen without giving him a chance to do anything against that. So, yeah, you may consider yourself currently safe, young Nicholas.
Thank you.
Here's the favour I will do you. You will be the last district in the docks to burn down if everything were to burn down. That is the
Thank you.
thing you get. So if the fire gets really out of control, then yeah. Oh dear. Cool. You avoid the paralysis spell, giving you time to cast a spell of your own. What are you doing?
The guy's trying to push him, the medic's trying to push the guy into the river, right?
Yes.
Okay, so target character within 50 meters must make a strength test with a spell strength modifier or raise their encumbrance level by 1 for 1 round. Would that be enough to stop the guy from moving?
Probably not. It's only a round.
Okay, probably not. In which case then, I'm gonna beam the medic around the head with my wrench, which I've called Avan Chazelle.
All right, naming it in the final session, but fair.
Oh, no. I named it since session 1. We've just not had a chance to use it.
I've just not beaten a doctor over the back of the head with it before.
I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. I would say it's actually probably to Ollie's credit that he's not committed random violence before. And this is not random violence. This is extremely targeted. And
Extremely targeted.
his warped point of view, necessary violence.
Hmm.
The universe depends on this doctor's brutal murder.
I mean, I'm going to try and go for non-lethal if possible.
Okay. You've got very limited time.
Okay, I already see where you're going. It's lethal damage.
Because you're doing this one-handed, right?
Presume... Well, I mean, if I've thrown the torch, then I do have 2 hands free. I wouldn't be surprised...
So you've got one hand holding your device under your thing, unless you just want...
Oh, I do, yeah, this would be one-handed then. Yeah.
I suppose you could take that out and rub it in his face and see what happens, but that's...
I'm sorry, you're taking what out and rubbing it in someone's face?
His time-destroying device.
Yeah, okay, I guess I take my maul out.
Okay. The physician screams and shrieks, "Why are you doing this?" as he struggles to push the man into the river, but you've already got the wrench to hand.
Do I have intimidation? There isn't intimidation. Is there anything I can use to, like, scare him into just running away?
Usually, I would say probably, but he did rush into the magical quarantine zone and get into a fight with the court wizard over saving this random catatonic guy. So I would say you're dealing with a very heroic medic.
Okay, in which case, yeah, sorry, medic, your heroics are going to be the cause of your.
What do they say about heroes? Right, okay, I will take combat styles over strength. I will give you a plus 10. I will give you a plus 20, in fact. Like, he can't easily dodge, or the patient will get hurt. So
cool. So that's a plus 40 total then, because my combat style is also Journeyman. My combat style is named Dwemer Engineer.
Percussive maintenance.
AKA be a gorilla.
Evil.
So as you say, that's strength over combat style.
Combat style over strength, but yes.
Cool. So plus 40 puts me at a 74 under.
He said, splitting hands.
2 degrees of success.
Okay.
That does 1d12 damage with a H of 2. Oh, that's hands. I think that might be hands, actually.
Yes, two-handed.
Yeah,
H2 is two-handed.
to be fair, this isn't like a strict combat scenario. This is you awkwardly twatting him with a wrench.
Yeah, to be fair.
I think that's... If we were dealing with a proper fight, sure, I would have given you a malice. As is, you're just trying to, like, desperately unhook your wrench and twat it into the side of his head. Not even necessarily his head. You could hit him in the chest quite well. Barroom rules. Cool. I will take... You know what, we're going to do, like, terrible VTM fractal damage, Ollie. So you can have your D12 plus your successes on the last one. And we'll see how much damage that does.
So 1d12 plus 2. Ooh, 12 damage.
Okay, let me just see that example. Healer. Do-do-do-do, has Ollie committed a murder? Maybe.
In the name of the greater good. I've got the name of the greater good.
Yeah.
Oh, the greater good.
I'm not entirely sure if the greater good is for the greater good of everyone. I think at this point right now it's for the greater good of my sanity.
I mean, one of those is a lost cause, man. Nearby, a bird flies backwards, screaming in confusion. A disturbingly human scream. Just a little cameo. A horse walks through. It has young Nicholas's face where its nose should be. Okay. It looks like you almost killed him. You clock him right in the side of the neck. He goes down, coughing and spluttering.
To give you them ripe lungs.
It's not, his lungs are fine. You twatted him in the neck with a wrench.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if I damage his airways, maybe they'll become right or something. I don't know how you grow lungs.
Not like that. In fact, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say almost nothing grows when you hit it with a wrench.
I mean, like, a lump could.
Right. Carl wins the riddle of the medical sphinx.
Oh my god, that was. What grows when you hit it that isn't a vegetable? Figure out my riddle, mortals.
A really shit sphinx. Right, okay, yeah, no. The physician, the doctor, the medic, the man of many ancillary but entirely unrelated medical titles, this all-star hero of the Solitude Medical Emergency Response Force, goes down to the ground, coughing and spluttering. Heroic Sam, they call him, played by Samwise Gamgee. I can't carry you, Mr. Patient, but I can carry this stretcher carrying you.
I'm so confused. Does he get, like, encumbrance bonuses from the effects of the stretcher?
Yes.
Like, heroic sound an awful lot like a mace to the face.
Well, yeah, as you say, as you whack him in the neck with a wrench, he goes down, coughing, spluttering. Nearby guards send up a scream. The court wizard rears back from you. Samwise, no! Her hand goes down.
I am actually not saying. I didn't actually say heroic sounds a lot like a mace to the face. At best, you can probably subtitle in square brackets the entirety of my interaction so far as panicked screaming.
That's fine. Honestly, it's less the rude one-liner and more the physical assault that's irritating everyone.
I can imagine, yeah.
You've actually, I would say, by mercilessly mutilating this hero of Solitude and Skyrim generally, the well-known Samwise the Healer, earned yourself a moment of stunned silence. Guards are rushing up, but many more are frozen. The court wizard, Sybil Stentor, is likewise. What do? What do?
I shout. I have the time bomb.
All right.
And I'll kill us all!
Taking you seriously, what response are you hoping for from people with no
And then I'm going to shout out, if anyone does anything, I set it off. And I pull it out from underneath my jacket. And I just stand there, holding it as it does its whirly-furly McGurly stuff.
You know what? I'll let you roll something on this. What is this got to be? I guess it's a persuade.
Come on, persuade.
I'll go persuade.
This is a persuade. Yeah, I would say it's a persuade. On the one hand, it's really difficult. On the other hand, you have a lot of confusing evidence indicating that you should be taken seriously, or at the very least, maybe not rushed before you twat someone else with a wrench.
Cool. Can I get any pluses to that? Because
I'm going to say net plus 0 because I want to give you minuses, but I want to give you pluses, and it probably evens out. So.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I have persuade as an apprentice, so I get a plus 10 anyway.
Yeah, that's fine.
So what does persuade roll off? The PRC.
Personality, yes.
27. So 37 or under.
I believe in you. You can do this.
Holy shit!
Holy shit, you did this.
Nice.
2 degrees of success.
The guards stop dead in their tracks. Sybil Stentor begins backing away. By Akatosh.
Is Akatosh the time one?
Akatosh is the dragon god of time. Tell me, what are you currently hideously phobic of?
I'm currently hideously phobic of time. That's why I endeavour to stop it by the 7 divines.
The guy who's stuck in that moment of time, does that actually give you peace when you look at him? Because time isn't progressing.
No, what it does is he comes towards and I become more and more anxious, and he goes back and I feel a slight sense of relief. Then he continues going forward. If anything, when the cat slowly grinds itself down to nothing, that's almost like peace, because I see it slowly appearing in front of me.
Oh, totally.
That's like peace.
You can see like its claws in a mat of twisted fur still proceeding up the catwalk some way away from you.
It's not walking like a cat anymore.
No, it's not walking like a cat.
You cack-handed twat.
It's a catwalk, but not in the way we thought it was.
The guards around you have screeched to a halt. Sybil Stentor is backing up. Your eyes burn with fury. You hold your bomb aloft. Calm down. What do you want? Says the wizard.
My hand shoots out with a point, and it tremors slightly as it points down towards the nearly nude Nord. Him.
He's currently burning to death. Let us help you both. We can take you to the hospital.
Me burn him. I do not move.
Okay, let me see if I've got a fucking battle mage profile in here.
This is an ethical dilemma.
What do you mean an ethical dilemma? There's no ethical dilemma.
One person died to save everyone, or everyone dies.
I'm going to shout out to the crowd. I've got a dead man switch.
I feel like I've joined at quite an interesting time.
You didn't like Christianity, right?
Ollie just shouted, "I have the time bomb!"
That's an exact quote. Believe it or not. He's in a standoff with the police and the Solitude Court Wizard. And
Don't worry though, the nearly nude Lord is now very much on fire.
Yeah. And they kicked Samwise Gamgee in the throat. Oh, not kicked him, they whacked him with a wrench.
And there's a couple of cats that have been grinding themselves to death, but it's a non-issue.
No, it was one cat and multiple people.
Yeah, Ollie's breaking time. A nice medic came to try and help while he was trying to murder the Dragonborn, so he wrenched him in the neck. And now, to sort of deflect from that, he's declared that he has a time bomb.
You say it like that. You say it like that.
I'm not a murderer, I'm a terrorist, I swear.
Well, I mean, that is what he's going with. But it's working a lot better than you might imagine. So Sybil Centaur gives up a scream to the guards. Get him! Get the
I shouted, I have a dead man switch.
Yeah, but I don't know to what degree either any of them know what that is or how serious.
Okay, that's more like a...
I'm going to let Sybil roll on it. I want to preface this with she's not really a commander. She's the court wizard.
When I say dead man switch, though, can we say that I'm saying it in a way which is period appropriate? Because I wouldn't know what a dead man switch is necessarily.
No, you know what a dead man switch is. You're a qualified engineer. The issue is none of these other people are qualified engineers.
But it may not be called a dead man. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, yeah, okay, fair enough.
I see where you're coming from. This isn't an issue. Sorry, I don't mean to talk over you, but this isn't. I'm going to anyway though. This isn't an issue of like time difference, a difference in period vocabulary. It's a case of you have a technical background that they don't. If you were making this threat to other Dwemer, I have a dead man switch would obviously translate really well because they'd go, oh fuck, a dead man switch. Everyone else is just going,
yeah,
give me a fucking dead man when I beat you with this switch.
I don't think there is an anachronism for this.
You're going to have to explain
saying, I've got a microwave.
No, they had dead man switches.
I'm saying whatever the period appropriate version, my Dwemer engineering version of dead man.
No,
unfortunately, what Ewan's saying is it's like, I think Nick said, giving a microwave to a caveman. As far as they're concerned, it's a rock cabinet.
Well, I mean, not even that really is the thing though, because
they don't understand the concept.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Sorry, but there would be people in the period who would understand. These just aren't those people. This is like the available city guard who aren't dealing with the mass fire or the approaching enemy army who turned up to the emergency quarantine that started 10 minutes ago.
Quick
this
question:
is not your A team.
Do I have an idea of what Do I know if I can actually blow up the device and cause some sort of horrible, timey-wimey explosion?
I don't think so. Probably not.
Could put a literal wrench in the works and just, jam it in.
Say with time, you could probably, ironically, work out a way to do it. But I don't think it's just, unstable enough that it will blow up at any one moment.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a very good engineer if it was... No, I'd actually be a normal engineer if it was unstable enough to...
It's also not something we raised when you were building.
Yeah, that's fair.
Risk. So I am going to let her roll on it, though, Ollie.
Okay.
That is not a pass. She has a personality of 35, coming from the Scroll of People. So the guards around sort of falter and don't want to approach any closer. But instead, Sybil Stentor shrieks out to the skies, "I'll do it!" and charges straight at you. What do?
I mean, I'll shout at her, "I'll set it off if you take one step closer."
Yeah, she's very clearly had enough of your bullshit and is
Okay, fair
rushing
enough.
towards you. You can see
Fair
her
enough.
palms already glowing with fiery touch magic.
1 second. Feather, burden, armor, shield repair, slow fall, water breathing. No, I could just give myself water breathing and just fuck off. Or water walking and just leg it on the lake.
Definitely, but then they will push the nearly nude Nord into the calf.
Yeah, exactly.
But you 100% could, like, she's probably got water walking, but I don't know if she's going to want to run after the madman with the alleged bomb. So,
How close is she to me right now? And has the time device started affecting her in any way?
it has not started affecting her. You can hear a number of screams from the ongoing houses from the adjoining houses. You've seen like a number of fish fall from the sky now. The people grinding through the floor, and one unfortunate splatter of splatter with like a pile of skin and ground bones where someone went straight through the wall of a house nearby attests to other effects, but yeah, it's not affected her specifically.
Cool.
I would say you have time to, you can probably prep your reaction. She's very obviously rushing up to, touch magic you.
Can I twat her with the wrench?
You can try and twat her with the wrench. Definitely.
Cool. I would like to try and twat her with the wrench.
Oh, dear.
And maybe also cast type armor spell on myself, my magic armor.
Yeah, one action per round, Ollie.
Oh, okay, no worries then.
I mean, probably not, actually. It is a Dark Heresy descended system, but we're not doing structured combat. Cool. I will take combat styles over strength and a +0.
+0, journeyman, so I'm at +20. Strength, so that is 54 or under. Do you not make that? Can I burn some luck to re-roll that?
You certainly can.
Cool. So it's you burn 3, right?
Yes.
Let's just apparently.
So that puts me down to 27. 28, sorry, 28.
That would also remove... Yeah.
That removes a lucky number, right? And
also a max luck point.
Yeah.
Yeah, max luck point.
I now have 2 lucky numbers.
Well, I think one of your lucky number... I think your highest lucky number... One of your lucky numbers becomes an unlucky number. Is that not it?
Yeah.
Okay, so 92 is my highest lucky number. So that becomes an unlucky number then, I guess.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Cool, okay, and then that brings up these 2 here.
Go on, if you re-roll to a 92, I'll be so happy.
Oh, it's going to be, yeah.
Can you imagine?
I make that. 54, yeah, I make that. Plus 20, I scrape that by 3 points.
Alright, let's see if she evades. Come on, you battle mage. That's not how you roll that, Ewan.
That's a fail.
That is a fail by
Almost 100?
dozens and dozens of degrees.
that's more like hundreds and hundreds of degrees.
As you throw the time bomb right at her face. And she... Oh yeah, that's a good point. How are you whacking her with the wrench when you got the time bomb now? I
mean, you said I had an action. You said I had time to prep, so...
Oh, so you, put the thing on the board and then...
Yeah.
cricket bat position.
I'm going to turn you all into ashes.
That is a fail. I think 2 doff. No, wait, more than that. 3 doff? An amount of doff. It's not a crit fail either way. But, cool. Roll your damage.
Is that 1d10 plus 1? 1d12 plus 1?
Yeah, we're just going to let you have your DOS as well.
Do I also get her degrees of failure?
No.
He said she... 5. Straight to the face, I believe, or wherever, actually. It has an ENC of 3. I don't know what... Is that encumbrance, right?
Pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like... I mean, okay, I don't know where mace is in here, but I guess we're not really...
We're just kind of narrativing this at the moment.
Yeah.
God, where the fuck are the wounds on this sheet? I can see them.
Health is equal to half your endurance.
Here we go. Hit points 20. 5. Whoops. She didn't put a mage armor on or anything, so you give me a detail, Ollie. No, fuck it. You hit her on the body. Oh no, sneeze.
He said, "Beat you."
God damn it! Hey, close it. Oh. This is I, the ghost of Michael Jackson, living in Ewan's nose.
I always suspected, but never wanted to say out loud for fear of sounding like I was crazy.
Nah, you say other things that do it.
Ow, but
I have the time bomb. You get in a hefty whack to the chest. It off-puts her, but she still spins close to you, one hand coming straight for you, getting ready to touch cast. Fuck, now I need to figure out how magic works. Talk amongst yourselves for a couple of minutes.
So right at the bottom of the book is the big descriptions. You scroll all the way down.
I do apologise for having taken up an hour of the session's time, but I think I'm right in saying people are somewhat enjoying this.
It amuses me.
Says Carl as he's eating grapes, lounging on a gold chair, the gold chaise lounge.
Good idea. I'm gonna go get some snacks.
I wish I had snacks.
I just bought a fuck ton of pork pies today.
Oh man,
I very rarely get in the mood for pork pies, and I buy a fuck ton of them. Then I pork pie myself out.
Cheese pork pies are the best.
I was going to say that I'm not a fan of store-bought cheese and pickle pork pies, but I fucking love getting pork pies and having cheese and pickle with them.
That's a good shout. I like having I'm loving pickle pork pies right now. Yeah, from Iceland, which is surprisingly tasty.
Pickled pork pies are amazing.
I'll be back in a sec. Actually, I'm going to grab one and also another cider.
Like, can we clarify? Like, by pickled pork pies, do you mean like pork pies with pickle in them, or are you pickling a pork pie?
No, it's pork pies with pickle inside.
Okay, yeah.
That's so good.
Like, bang up.
Pickled pork pies, not pickled pork pies.
Yeah, like, no, I can't lie there. There was like a part in my mind that's just like, wouldn't the pastry go so nasty?
Yes, it would.
Forbidden food.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the forbidden fruit.
Oh, it's so wrong. Just so many levels.
And yet so right.
Like, because I do really like pickled foods. Like,
so, can someone just take me speedily? You declare spell level. So in this case, it would be spell level 5 and spell type, etc. Oh, well, I mean, she's a court wizard. In fact, she's the court wizard for the capital as well. In fact, not only is she the court wizard for the capital, she's the immortal court wizard for the capital, who's been the court wizard for the capital for the last couple of generations.
Oh yeah, she's a vampire.
She's real good. She knows what she's doing.
Things, yes. But then after that, what do you actually roll?
Intelligence over, or no, willpower, over the skill.
Oh, right. Now I'm following you. Cool. So...
skill over willpower.
Spells one-handed. Spell list. Wait, where's the fucking things? Destruction TN? That's TN.
Target number, maybe?
Jesus, I'm not letting the NPCs roll 95 or under. That's hideously unfair.
Johnny, give me a hand here.
Who's watching something strange in the background?
Yeah, someone needs a hand over there.
I thought it sounded like Joe was in your room or something, but like in another room to your room, adjacent to your room.
Well, not adjacent to my room. I think she's in the Discord, so she's listening in. Making comments about my lungs, damn it. Stalking in the night. So what's... we'll say she's probably expert rank, right? Which is... 0, plus 10, plus 20, plus 30, plus 40. So it'd be intelligence plus 40. So she's probably rolling at cab. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, Ollie. I think I may have given you a slightly hard wizard.
You think giving me the immortal capital wizard for the last 5 generations might have been slightly hard? You think?
In my defense, I did not know you were going to get into a big terrorist bust-up with her.
In my defense, I didn't know you were going to bring her into the fight.
I feel like I'm still not quite sure on what the details are of this, but we'll roll with it.
Literally.
Was that a pun?
Scream. Okay, so declaring spell, which in this case is fire bite, and I'm not doing overload. Yeah, fire bite, and spell rating was, I think we said 5.
Oh, quick question.
Yeah.
Why 4 potential followers, the people who help me make the anti-time fuck device?
Yeah.
They're not in the crowd by any chance, are they?
You know what? Sure, I'm sure they've been drawn here.
Cool. Are they going to help me? Are they going to throw themselves at the wizard?
Probably
to
not
stop?
willingly, but I'm sure you could draw people in. You've not really been going ham on the, trying to rub your device on people's eyes to see what happens, mad scientist stuff. Yet.
I'm not a mad scientist yet.
Ollie.
I'm just mad and a scientist. I'm not a mad scientist.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, regrettably, 90 or under. It's many, many dosses. I think you get an evade, though. Which is, what's that? You do need to beat 6 DOS, so I guess lucky numbers, or 1.
So my evade is on +0, and my agility is 40. So I need to get 1 or anything under 60, I suppose. Oh, sorry, but yeah, you know what I mean.
No, you need to get 1 or a lucky number.
Yeah, that's not either of those.
Okay. Cool. Well, as mentioned, a failed thing doesn't count against you, so she's doing 2d6 plus her DOS.
Is it frost damage, did you say?
Fire.
Fire damage. Okay, cool.
I think I'm correctly calculating DOS there. 396, yeah. That is 11 damage to, we'll say, the body of the fire.
Cool. I actually have 19 wounds. I actually take that pretty well. I also don't have my shield anymore. I don't think... No, I'm just wearing normal clothes, I think, actually. Yeah, I take it. I have 8 wounds left.
Cool. Okay. I promise we'll move on to someone else in a second, though we can't really do Callum till Benji gets here. I think he's our main other action point. Unless Team Khajiit, is there anything you want to move on to urgently, or are you happy to watch Ollie do his thing?
The only thing I'll do is get more wine.
Yeah.
From the balcony of your luxury penthouse, you continue to watch the fires spread through lower solitude. You sit there.
Can I reflect in my eyes?
It's still reflecting in your eyes. Well, in fact, it's not still reflecting in your eyes, because it was reflecting in your eyes when the initial explosion happened, then you went in for a back massage, now you've come back out and it's reflecting in your eyes again, but it's a separate reflection, technically. You've got a goblet of wine, there's a tiny saucer of wine in front of Zanzarin. You're watching in some kind of magical fight go on between distant stick figures down at the docks, no doubt looters breaking out. It's a whole thing.
Some men just want to watch the world burn, Mr. Wayne.
Says the butler from behind you, using the fake name you gave him. And would Mr. Wayne... I can't do a Cockney accent.
No, that was nearly there. That was nearly there.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
It's better than Ben's botched attempt at any kind of accent last week.
You gotta love him for trying, though. Fuck. Would Master care for a cigar?
Yes, Master cares for cigar.
Callum, where's tobacco come from in Tamriel? Pyandonia, it's canon.
Pyandonia. Yeah, the slowed make it.
Yeah, it was slowed on Pyandonia. It's Maormer.
Get outlawed.
Yes, you are right.
To be fair, Pyandonia is my bay.
Is that because it's the nation of where you can say anything and it's always true from there?
No, they're horrifying fish people, and I like them. They're my second favourite elves after dark elves.
Fish people elves.
I prefer the slowed anyway.
Slowed were playable.
They were.
Chose to play a Revere instead.
Oh, right, you mean a pen and paper.
Yeah, and I could have been a horrifying, slug necromancer.
You don't have to be a necromancer, it's just heavily encouraged.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
You also get to be a great actor, though. Oh.
Well, there is that. I could have joined the Bard College. Anyway, let's stop derailing.
Slow Bard. Cool. So, yeah, the Khajiit, one smoking a cigar and the other smoking a cigarillo, presumably, imported from far-off Pyandonia, the exotic tropical southern realm from whence the sea elves come. Watch as solitude burns before them, sure in the knowledge that someday they're going to get their fucking card back, and that day is likely tomorrow. Yunbrick. It's your go. We're not in strict structured time, so if you wanted to try something fancy that isn't just twatting her, you can.
Does she?
Oh, sorry.
Does she look pretty hurt from my my 5 wounds to her?
Not particularly, no.
I suppose meta, she is a vampire.
Add that to her stats. It arguably should have been. But also, she probably has healing spells.
Do I want to do something more special? Can I raise my maul over the time device? Which I think we said I left on the nearly nude Nord.
On the ground next to you.
Yeah. And just be like, I will fucking smash it.
I think she's too heavily attacked.
She's too heavily into that. Okay, that's fair.
You could definitely reach the time device in time. She's not going to process that you're issuing a threat. She's just going to fire touch you. Technically, for the record, these aren't even cast on touch. They're cast with a 1 meter radius. 1 meter attack. So they're more like lightsabers from the hands. Pew! Again, I did not quite realize how insanely OP the Solitude Court Wizard was going to be. That she's just out here free-wielding lightsabers.
No, you didn't.
You're done goofed.
In Castle Dower, sure are easy fights in here, aren't they? Yeah, they are pretty easy. Meanwhile, on the docks,
my eyes,
they just high ground.
My eyes, I can't even see they've rolled up so far.
So you can't use your timey staffy thingy on her, can you?
No, it's not actually a castable thing. I've just been bullshitting them this entire time. It doesn't explode.
Just smack her over the back of the head with it and see if anything magical happens.
I feel like
that's science right there.
Yeah, but also I really need to make sure the nearly nude Nord dies burning to death, and he can't reload.
Well, he's still just on fire over there.
Yeah, I mean, actually, how is Nord looking? He's been on fire for a solid 30 to 40 seconds, probably a couple of minutes at this point, actually.
Let's see, you set him on fire. Yeah, he's been on fire for about a minute at this point.
Hey, Fabs.
Hi, Fabs.
How's everyone?
Ollie's getting beaten up by a vampire.
Oh, okay, that's normal.
Yes. I mean, it is for him.
That's right.
Oh, thanks. What was he saying? Right. Yes, he's looking crispy. He's not dead, but he's probably not that far away.
Okay, cool.
We draw this out for a few rounds. Let's see. So, call it another minute for him to burn to death. A round is, we usually do 10 seconds for a round, so you would need to last 6 rounds for him to die.
If I run away, is she going to try and go for the time device, or is she going to try and go for me?
I'd expect she'd go for the burning to death citizen.
Yeah, okay, I'm just going to twat her over the head with my wrench then.
Just hope for the best.
Yep, fuck it.
I mean, what's the worst case scenario here, right? If the Nord doesn't die, then he may well just reload.
Oh no, he can't reload anymore.
Give me your combat style over strength, please.
Cool, plus 20, so that is strength 54 or under. For Journeyman, right? Yeah. No, sorry, plus 30. So, no, it's plus 20, sorry. Journeyman is plus 20. Ugh. Last session, I'm still getting tripped up by that. So, 54 or under. I make it. 1 degree of success.
Cool. Let's see how she do on the evade. That is not a pass. Right, roll your damage.
Oof. Can I burn luck to actually get that to reroll?
No, you can only reroll a failed test. You can burn luck to add degrees of success to a successful test.
So I could...
But that wasn't successful, I suppose. It would have had to be the last one.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll go with that.
So just reading through some things. Cool. So, you raise your wrench and bring it down hard on the seemingly young woman's shoulder. It's like she's made of granite, though. Despite her fairly slight, non-muscly form, she just doesn't take the hit. It seems to barely chip away at her.
I said,
and with a scream of spell rating 5 for bite, fire bite, in fact.
Is this an anime now?
I mean, I'd watch the Skyrim anime. That is a pass of 1 degree. Would you like to evade?
I would like to evade. Cool, so again, evade.
Yeah, you
carrying
need
a novice, plus 0, agility, 40 or under.
Oh, you'll need to get equal to, though, so even a simple pass there will negate.
Did not make that.
You can burn
I can burn the luck, though.
to re-roll a failed test, indeed.
Great, cool, 25. Yes, that's, I make that 1 degree of success.
Coming closer and closer to death, you almost fantasy version of Matrix dip under her burning hand as it sails over the top of your head. You see the jet of fire come out, a pure meter-long column of flame, blue hot, burning away at the hairs of your face. You may consider your hair to be gently smouldering at this point.
They do have always called me a hothead.
I will murder you, Ollie. Okay, should we just try and blast through? Are you just going to try and fight her and see if you can fight this out?
I feel like there's not really much else I can do, so yeah.
That's valid. Should we just blast through 5 more rounds of combat?
Yeah, that's it.
Everyone do feel free to harass Benji, because we can't do the other side of the plotline till he turns up easily. I mean, we can, but if that's the case, then what we're going to do is probably slorp in a character that young Nicholas will play, I guess, and... Nicholas and Callum together will get out of this.
Good old Thooms. I've missed him.
Yeah, there you go. So, young Nicholas, if Benji isn't here by the time that we're done with Ollie's dramatic combat sequence, then you'll be the spy in the Imperial Fort. So have a vague character concept in mind, just a sentence or so for how you want that to work. Maybe even discuss it with Callum textually in the Discord. Is that alright?
Okay, so he knows about me already, or...?
Yeah, it'll be a schlorped-in situation. You'll be Revere's good old friend. Perhaps even...
Oh, I see. Okay, yes, Revere's my head.
Yes. Guy.
Tis I, Guy. Guyson. Of Clan Guy. It's a strong naming scheme.
Totally not being formed out of clay on the floor.
That's how he's going to come across.
Okay. Ollie, roll me your combat style over strength.
Are there any special rules to roll in combat style, or does it just mean you don't get any negatives? So do you get any buffs?
Yeah, it means you don't get negatives on your weapon. We're misusing a load of the combat rules at this point. We've been doing much deadlier combat, but I don't know if I can be asked to read the rules at this point. I don't know about you.
Oh, shit. I actually missed that by literally 1 point.
Ooh, big rip.
Quite.
So I'm going to burn a bit more luck.
Good luck to re-roll.
Oh, wait, are you just out of luck now?
No, I'm on 22 luck now.
No, I mean points.
Yeah, he used his first earlier in the session.
47, I make that one career success.
Okay, attempting to evade. Actually, I have no idea if that's a success or not. Let me check the sheet. Oh, I'm afraid that is a 1 DOS, Ollie. That's a negate.
Whoa, rude from her, with her face being all like that.
Whoa. I need to make it personal. What is this? This is
Face being all unabashed.
4th round. Cool. So she's going to shriek in the ancient tongue of her people, which is, I mean, they're Bretons, so I guess Franglish. And then spell rating 5, Firebite. That is 1 DOS. Fuck my life.
Evade, again, 40 or under. Here is failure.
Okay. So
Which just means I'm going to burn a bit more. I'm going to save it for later. Actually, no, this could kill me, so I'm going to burn a bit more luck.
Yeah, she'd be doing 2d6 plus 1 on the damage. I don't know why we're adding the DOS. I think it's just because we've been playing VTM recently.
Cool, so I have only my last lucky number is 2.
That's the most pointless lucky number, almost.
You're the most pointless lucky number.
Actively worse than pointless, because it means that it will become an unlucky number.
I evade. I evade with a 1 degree of success.
Cool, you only need 1 to neutralise.
We finally have a Ben.
Yeah,
Okay, so Benji, you've just come into me battling the Supreme Court Wizard of Skyrim.
10-round anime fight.
It is yes, it is an anime fight. Cool, so yeah, that is...
That doesn't answer the question.
You know what? Discuss it in text. We got 3 rounds of this left.
So I'm just going to spend another 3 luck points. I'm going to burn another 3 of those.
Okay, yeah, so your wrench seems like it's sailing over her head. Only 2.
Still not
Sail
making
over her head.
Sail over her head, but slightly less dramatically than it might have otherwise. The guards all around you still petrified. And do we get involved? I don't know. He had something about a dead man nearby who would hit the switch. And, I mean, necromancy is real. Cool. Sybil Stentor goes to attack you. More lightsabers of fire. Spell rating 5. That is a fail. Inexplicably. So ends round 3. Ollie.
Cool. 56 or under to 54 under to hit.
Sorry, so ends round 4. Which
yeah, we're now on round 5. So I actually hit there with 25, 35, 45, 3 degrees of success.
Cool. Attempting to evade. That is 1 evade, so knock 1 off your DOS, but otherwise roll damage.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. 1d12 plus 2, then. Oh, damn.
6. Yeah, no, so that time you whack her in the chest and she goes stumbling back, like her whole chest cavity seems to be caved in. Curiously, she's still moving somehow, but the entire, all of her ribs are smashed. You fancy you can almost see her heart not pumping.
Steak time!
Staggering backwards. I just need to look up a heal spell real quick.
Does healing work on undead in Skyrim?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm more alive. Fuck. This is exactly what I did not want to happen.
It's D&D, it's a negative plane of energy plus positive plane of energy thing, and Elder Scrolls doesn't have those. Restoration, here we go.
No, it just says the space not being space and stars actually just being portals.
Oh, yeah, it's got weirdly arcane metaphysics, but they're very different from D&D's weirdly arcane metaphysics.
Oh no, totally. I was talking to Nick the other day about my custom D&D campaign and how I wanted this certain thing to appear on one of the planes, and Nick was like, "That's not how the planes work." I was like,
Yeah, but it's your table.
"Huh?"
It's your table. You do it how you want.
Yeah, exactly. You hear that, Nick? I'm going to have people swinging. And then, there's a whole sentence. There's not swinging, there's sexual thing. I've never started swinging.
What? Okay. Casting. So Sybil backs up, both hands in the air, and a golden light envelops them as she attempts to cast Heal on herself. Spell rating 3. That is a pass, which means she regains the spell strength in HP, which is 6. Cool, so her chest seems to inflate outwards, the ribs snap back into place. There's still a lot of gooey, red, wet mess for some reason, not pulsing particularly strongly, but she's looking significantly better for wear. That said, final round.
Does my time device make that go backwards and stop her from healing herself?
No, Ollie.
Fuck. Final round. Cool.
You invented a machine that does something with time. It does not turn you into fucking the Doctor.
Oh, there's been a whole load of stuff. You've missed some things. There was a cat. Emphasis on the was.
So many things.
Now
Okay, final round. Yeah, okay. I go to hit her. Oh, wow. Yeah, I spend some luck on that motherfucker.
I think you've got to burn some luck on that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I'm down to. I started this session with 34, and I'm on 13 now.
Final session.
I spend a little bit more.
You can only do it once, I believe.
Oh really? Okay, I do not hit her. But it doesn't necessarily matter. We are still 6 rounds in now.
Okay, her go. Cool. I think she's in a slightly better place as you. Extremely wounded at this point, I think. How many hit points you got left?
I've still got I've got 8. I've got up half. I'm on half essentially.
Yeah, so extremely wounded. Like lashing your God, what is it? It's a wrench, right? Yeah, lashing your wrench around, desperately just trying to fend her off. More focused really on surviving, but also keeping her away from the nearly nude Nord. He must be so close. You can smell him burning, although that might be other people nearby burning. In fact, looking at the mass towering inferno that the rest of Solitude is slowly, in fact, rapidly becoming. Who the fuck knows what that burning smell is? Plus your beard's on fire. So many things burning. Okay. Fire bite, spell rating 5.
Cool, go for it.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I do an evade.
That is 5 DOS.
Cool,
Okay.
I do an evade, so I do not make that. Oh, I also. Oh no, I didn't see. Oh no, I'm gonna burn a luck actually.
You can indeed.
I made that with 1 degree of success.
1 DOS, cool. So that knocks 1 DOS off hers. So that'll be 2d6 plus 4. Come on, death, come on, death, come on, death.
Oof. Yeah, that puts me down to
What happens when you're on
minus 13 wounds, I believe.
I can't put you down to minus 13 if you're on 8.
So, 1 second. Like we said earlier, math was never my strong suit. Minus 7, sorry.
Fair. Cool. Is anyone actually familiar with the rules for dying? What happens when you run out of health? Has anyone read this bit? I haven't.
Pretty sure you just died.
Can I burn luck to get her to re-roll her wounds?
No, you can burn a large amount of luck to survive a fatal wound with GM consent.
So so you're saying I can burn the remaining 10 points of luck I have and become the world's unluckiest mad scientist?
You're saying you may be able to.
Exactly. Okay, death. If the player is reduced to 0 hit points, then they fall unconscious. A character who is unconscious at 0 HP must pass an endurance test on the next turn. If they fail a number of tests in excess of their luck bonus whilst unconscious, then they die.
So my luck.
All that luck.
Well, I mean, no one is going to get you up or stabilize you.
I'll get you up.
God damn it, Carl. So you're basically going to die. What is your argument? Why should you be allowed to live? If you think you should be allowed to live, or if you're happy to go to... Well, I guess you don't believe in the afterlife, so...
Sweet oblivion. I don't
You're
mean
happy to go to oblivion, 2 middle fingers raised, knowing that as you keel backwards, you'll land on the corpse of the nearly naked Nord.
Smoking a blunt.
Is the
glass
nearly
beer.
nude Nord now definitely a corpse?
Okay, so you've not seen him, but I will say that you hear him slumping to the ground behind you, the fire having whittled down his flesh to critical levels. You're pretty sure he's probably dead. And you are currently in the process of having your spine blasted out.
So, I argue that I should not die for this round for the simple reason of I want to get one final feeling of satisfaction on the mortal plane before the ever-loving shit of my soul is knocked out of my body.
Okay, so you just really want to burn your 10 points of luck long enough to gloat.
Not even like almost like gloating. Like what's like a word for like a mixture of like satisfaction with knowing a job well done. Or
Savor it.
Huh?
You want to savor it.
Yeah, savor it. I want to get a chance. You know. In this case, I look like the villain, but I'm actually the hero. You know,
No,
rising up.
Well, actually, no. You think you're the hero, but you're objectively the villain.
Well,
you just don't know that. But like all villains, you're entirely convinced that because you're convinced you're correct, that means that you are correct. That said, I think that's a very convincing argument. If you'd like to burn 10 points of luck.
Cool, that puts me down to 0 luck. I am now at 0 luck, and it's gone actually red.
As Sybil Stentor's hand whips around, a burning lance of fire coming with it, she seems to flicker it off for a second, and then her hand lands on your chest directly over your sternum and your heart, and you feel a sudden melting, burning sensation as a meter-long blast of blue-hot flame bores through your heart, through your spine, robbing you of all feeling below your shoulder blades, and you collapse to the ground. Most mortals would die instantaneously, but you, Yunbrick Ulka, your wrench clattering from your hands, you hold on to consciousness. Behind you, you see the nearly nude Nord thunk to the ground at just about the same time. He's still stock still. And then he kind of comes to, his head swiveling. A hand comes up, raising a golden halo of light, ready to heal, and then nothing. It collapses onto the ground, and you see the light go from his eyes. You know what? You can speak a one-liner if you feel like there's enough air left in your lungs.
From the Dwemer to you. Fuck you.
And with that, Yumbrick Ulka, second to last of the Dwemer, dies. You're gonna really confuse the fuck out of some people at the autopsy, I'll tell you that. Should they get that far, as you may have just ended the universe.
I'm sorry I've taken up the first 40 minutes of the session, but also I'm not.
Hour and 40 minutes.
I'm happy with an anime fight taking up 40 minutes.
Hour and 40 minutes.
Oh shit, really?
Yep.
Not at the 7, a quarter past.
There was me expecting, that I've gotten Creed and Carl done. I know I'm going to be a bit late, but surely we should be progressing nicely. No.
No, this was done with the consent of Creed and Carl.
Yeah,
they don't really have any, they completed all their goals last session.
So I'm not actually sorry. This has been great fun.
Yeah, per the reminders in the Discord, Team Khajiit's goals for this setting, their reminders for this week were they have already won and they're enjoying the high life. We've had some brief moments with them they're currently smoking cigars and watching a fight in the distance that they don't realise involves Yunbrick.
They're thinking about it. If they realised it involved Youngbrick, they'd probably be even happier because they think one less person to share the fucking loot with.
That's a very good point, actually.
We'll find out soon enough, I suppose.
Well, when he doesn't turn up and you effortlessly scam him.
You know, I think this is the first time I've had a character in any of the pen and papers I played with you and do a full permanent death. Well, it's permanent death can be in Skyrim, but this is the first time I've had a character fully die, I think.
Yes.
I can't think of
another one.
I can't think of any. I think this might be the first full death with a big character.
Yeah.
There might be other. No, actually, I think this might be the first death I've had with you.
No, you've had like minor NPC characters you played died.
But like proper player characters.
But
I don't think I've had
not proper player characters. You're not one of our high fatality people. No, you're not a Creed. You're not a young Nicholas. You don't die frequently. You're not a Callum.
No.
On his day, you're not a Benji, but he doesn't necessarily die quickly. But sometimes, sometimes.
Sometimes he dies quickly and then learns his lesson.
Well, no, usually it's not better or worse to die quickly or not. Like there, you have your Ollies who don't die ever, and you have your Creeds who die on average once every 4.2 sessions. Cool. And on the subject of you know what? Let's check in with Team Khajiit. Catclop is currently sat in a little house somewhere, very determinedly not burning to death as the rest of Lower Solitude slowly catches on fire and the overstretched guards desperately attempt to put it out. Meanwhile, there's some kind of terrorist incident on the docks that people are being called to.
Are there any small crowds nearby?
Yeah, there's a huge crowd gathered below you.
Are they in frenzy rage? I feel like some more entertainment for the Khajiit.
Sorry,
I've got 50 meters.
What?
Frenzy spell.
Jesus Christ.
Cats just want to watch the world burn.
Well, they've set the world on fire, so they're doing that quite effectively. Now, when you say 50
that's what I mean.
meters, is it like a cone or is it single target?
Single target, I believe.
Okay, so there is an extremely beefy guard captain down there, currently calming the citizens.
Calm.
Everyone, I need you to stay calm and return to your homes. The fires have not reached this part of Solitude yet, and they are not likely to. Now, so on and so forth and so on and so forth.
Oh.
You've got to declare spell rating you cast. So
that's a lucky number.
Ooh, big rip.
I only have one. All right, so rating 3. All right.
Me.
Be like 4 or 5 degrees of success.
You wanted your lucky number, didn't
All
you?
right, please. Yeah.
All right, I tell you what. Votes in Discord if you should get the lucky number or not. Aye or nay. You've got 10 seconds to vote, people. Right,
not a word, young Nicholas.
Right, so we've got 1 spoiled ballot, 1 unregistered voter, and 3 ayes. 4 ayes, in fact. I can't count. All right, cool. You can count. We'll let you count your lucky number, Creed.
Yay!
I don't know what that does in this context.
It's a crit success. It's like a 1.
Well, typically he has to do a plus 0 willpower test to not be frenzied. We make it a -10 or something.
I tell you what. What was your DOS on the 12?
On the 12, it would have been a 4.
Cool. Well, we'll give him a Jesus. All right, it's final session. We'll give him a -40, 1 for every DOS on the actual roll.
Woohoo!
Let me just have a look at the knights. Oh, God, having an actual decent NPC scroll. It's beautiful. Cool. Willpower, you say? Oh dear. Yeah, that is not a pass. That is, in fact, 6 DOS. 6 DOS? 6 DOF. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to stay calm, rip and tear. And the knight rushes into the crowd, punching, screaming, kicking. You see a child go flying through the air and ping gently off a nearby shed.
Because they're immortal.
What?
Children in Skyrim are immortal. You can't kill them.
See, I was following. Fair. God damn it, young Nicholas. So, the crowd below you panics, shrieks and screams go up, and they scatter in all directions, rushing away from the killer guard, who, I mean, how long does it last? Just a couple of rounds, right?
Can't see it here. It just says gain the frenzied condition. Let me have a look at the other rules section.
You've got a duration or something, though, surely. Duration. Mistake. Frenzy.
Let's see.
I don't know, I guess he just stays angry till whenever. Regardless, I guess that kind of works itself out down there, and you're quite happily able to stay in your townhouse, looking down on the chaos. Meanwhile, over in Castle Dower, just to remind you two of your reminders, the guards have just heard a shout of "Guards!" Revere and Arnulf wanted to get their story straight. There are 2 bodies in the cell with you, Goran and the Revere lookalike, and the final reminder doesn't actually have anything to do with this. So, Revere and the other one, Arnulf, what do?
The guards bust in. As soon as the guards bust in, we're gonna go with our story that we worked out, aren't we?
Yes, the story that we totally worked out. totally worked it out. What's our story going to be?
Okay, the story is that we found this guy killing the prisoner, and during the fight, he died. We couldn't save the prisoner, though.
Oh yeah, I'm the guard, the lookalike guard. Yes, that works. And you're an actual guard, which also works. Why is he wearing my armor?
What do you mean, why is he wearing your armor?
Well, I haven't had a chance to strip him off yet.
I thought we did that. No, we did that when we did that when we killed him. We did that upstairs. We didn't walk through the halls of Castle Dower dragging the body.
Yeah. Well, no, you did drag. Well, no, you hauled the body, but yeah,
we hauled the body, but we swapped armor upstairs.
You did swap.
Oh right.
Upstairs,
yeah, I made sure.
Okay, well let's go with that then. Okay, so we're both dressed as guards. Okay, this works.
Well, I mean, you're both dressed as recruits, but I don't think they have a specific guard uniform. 2 guards clatter into the chamber. All right, what's happening in here then? Oh my god! They level their weapons at you. All right. Now, what's going on here then? Says the clearly incredibly confused emergency night watchman, who was very evidently put on night patrol because everyone else is off doing important things or sleeping.
We were bringing food down to the prisoner, and we came in, and this guy was murdering him.
You know what? I will take a subterfuge roll, please, Benji. I'll give you a subterfuge over personality.
Okay.
I'll give you a +10 as you have quite a decent, sensible story worked out.
Apprentice +10, so that is 58 or under, and I have plenty of luck. So I'm going to use a luck point. Boom! That is a success of 4 degrees! Huzzah!
Yeah, you calmly explain the situation to the guards, and they kind of rest their pole arms against the side of the wall, and dear God, that's terrible. Fucking spies, I bet he was the one who blew up the armory.
It's unthinkable. I mean, I know this guy was in here I think he was in here for attempted murder, I heard someone saying earlier, but there's no reason to kill him without a trial, is it?
One of the guards spits. Here, that's disgusting. Ah, blast, I've done that inside my helmet. Ah.
Tilts head slightly, leaks out the eye holes.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
That got graphic.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we should probably take an official statement from you, and calm the rest of the guards down. Here, Jeff. Wait, no, Skyrim. Jeff, I want you to go back out there and tell the rest of them to stand down. I'll take the official statement in here. and you're left alone with one of the guards. What's your plan for the rest of this, guys? How are you intending to get out of Castle Dower, if indeed that's what you want to do?
I want to stay inside Castle Dower and continue to sabotage efforts.
Guys, I have an idea for you. If you die, you don't need to get out of there.
Isn't the cart impounded in Castle Tower?
It is
the cart is impounded in Castle Tower, but equally
so
we need to make sure that it doesn't get destroyed.
Equally, though, we should probably make sure that we get out with the cart.
Yeah, when we leave the cart, but I was hoping to stay in here for the assault as well, because obviously we want to make sure that we can continue to sabotage efforts from within inside.
Yeah, but we don't want to be inside Castle Dower when the Stormcloaks attack while dressed as the Legion. I'm just going to say, I don't think they're going to care too much about who we are.
They will when we finally unveil ourselves during the assault.
So, in vanilla Skyrim, definitely, to be fair to Callum, we have been portraying this version of the Stormcloaks as significantly more ruthless than they are in the game. Like, this version of Skyrim attacked Whiterun without warning, whereas Skyrim in the, what's it called? Ulfric in the game gives Whiterun a official message. There's been incitements of terrorist action, like really harsh anti-civilian espionage. And generally, Ulfric's been a lot more hostile and warlike in this version than he is in the game.
I'm just thinking more like the chaos of battle.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
You can't just go up and say, "Oh, I'm with you guys."
I know, but what we can kill select officers and then, use the fact that we've just killed officers to go, "Hey, we are on your side, guys."
So on one hand, you're not wrong. On the other hand, as Callum is suggesting here, if you picture Revere as the typical Stormcloak officer, which by all accounts he kind of is, what does Revere do when Imperials try to surrender to him?
I mean...
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Especially if he can take credit for those officers they just murdered.
Don't get me wrong, they're still a day away, so we don't need to scarper straight away, but I feel like we should probably... our end goal should probably be, we should get the car and get out of
leave before the assault.
Well,
okay.
But a day away means they're arriving tomorrow, and it is currently the night.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a few hours.
Yeah, they're somewhere between 6 and 18 hours away.
I would have thought Revere would have loved the chance at Tullius.
Again, we're talking about end goals. So, Tullius, good side goal. But then what?
We take his head up to the ramparts?
Alright, well, I guess we're going to go and assassinate Tullius then.
Assassinate?
Tullius, you ain't shit. Cool.
So we're punching this guy then?
So the guard takes your statement and then sort of waves you out and here, go get some sleep, lads. We're expecting a battle on the morrow. Shakes his head, looking at the spies dead in the cell. Nasty business. Traitors to Tiber Septim, the lot of them.
Imagine if your plan is to see the last session, Benji, and one of those was Tiger Septim. Didn't Benji try and was almost like it was gonna happen, like he was almost gonna kill that guy?
No, I think you're confusing Tiber Septim, who is a god, with Tullius.
General Tullius.
Oh, yes.
Hence the slightly confused silence there when everyone was
Yeah.
Did Benji attempt to kill God? It's not out of character for him.
What's that end goal? Kill Talos?
There can only be one Talos.
Well, you know what?
Are you sure?
It's not necessarily impossible.
Arnold's anti-authority stance goes so far as to go, fuck you, God.
Yeah, two people at once.
Yeah, guys, you need to not talk over each other.
I was going to say, at least it's maybe possible. In my version, there's now 7 divines. Fuck that dragon.
Well, yeah, but your version, I was going to say died with you. Technically, there's other 4 people, I guess. But, we'll see what happens with the time device, if anything. Again, the world might end any moment now.
So we're going to go and kill Tullius, then. This is our plan. And then we're going to scarp her out.
Tullius or an extremely high-level Imperial officer, yes.
You do know where Tullius' quarters are. As you walk through the corridors of Castle Dower, no longer sneaking, there are people active everywhere. You can hear rushed commands echoing to and fro. It seems like there's some major hubbub in Solitude. You can smell burning on the wind, but unlike the now not exactly fresh scent of ash emanating from the collapsed room adjacent to the armory, this is fresh burn. Real wood smoke drifting in from Lower Solitude. That explosion you heard rocking the castle earlier must have been significantly more dramatic than you were told. Fuck knows what it could even have been. Totally distant to your hearing is the sound of a tiny bowl clinking against a wine glass. Winding your way up to Tullius's quarters is relatively easy. Again, people just assume you're on a mission or secondment or have otherwise been requested. However, there are at least 2 marked changes from the last time you were vaguely here, because I think this is like adjacent to the planning room. 1, there are 2 guards outside his quarters, and 2, you can hear frantic yelling from inside them. So there's probably at least 2 people in there. One of them is awake. What do? At least one of them is awake. Probably both of them are awake. That was a really weird sentence.
So there's 2 guards outside the quarters or inside the quarters?
2 guards outside the quarters. Might hypothetically be 2 guards inside the quarters you can't see.
Why don't we convince them it's a shift change?
They probably know.
Unscheduled shift change. There's a battle tomorrow. There's chaos.
That almost certainly will not work.
I would say it's probably quite a difficult persuasion roll, but I'd let you roll it. It'll be a minus 30. Usually I would say no, but yeah, there is a battle tomorrow and people are rushing to and fro. Not even just there's a battle tomorrow, but clearly there's some kind of emergency happening out in Solitude. I mean, how bad can it possibly be, right? But it's got people up in chaos. Meanwhile, outside, the screams of the burning mix with the screams of the dying.
Alternatively, how do you rate our ability to silently knock these guys out? I do have Wrestler.
I don't.
Really, I'm confident in my ability to do it. It's just yours.
Ultimate wrestling, go. Can you silently grapple 2 people and choke them to death? I'm just going to pour more gin here. Rest of the team, do feel free to throw in suggestions here, because I think Team Nord's perhaps a little bit stymied with their kamikaze assassination.
Okay, so when I said I wanted to kill Tullius, I didn't mean we went straight there from...
We've got 6 hours!
Yeah, but there's going to be a more opportune time to do it than right now.
Well, when he's in the middle of the war room?
If that's the case, then, tell me what you want to do.
I think if we go for maximum effect, we want to kill him potentially while he's giving a speech to his men from the top of the walls.
Yeah, but I feel like we would probably be killed immediately after. So I think this might be our best chance, to be honest. I feel like, I don't know, I could try and grapple 2 people. You could help, but yeah.
What was Creed going to say?
Nothing.
Oh.
I'm
mistaken.
I've got plenty of knives.
We could go for we could go for knives.
I'm pretty sure your inventory is still locked up somewhere.
Oh shit. Okay, well I've got my hands and you've got whatever was on you before.
I mean, you've got whatever a standard Imperial recruit has, so I guess you've probably got a hunting knife and a short sword.
Okay, well then, there you go. Or what if we raise the alarm or raise their alarm? No, because that'll bring in the guards. Fuck it, let's just try and
silently kill him. Fuck it.
Let's just murk him right here. It's the best idea we've got.
In the chaos, someone has somehow murdered General Tullius. Okay, cool. So you want to try and kill the guards silently before bursting into the room?
Yep.
Right? Okay, so these are going to be 2 fairly elite guards. Oh, God, what's your strategy here, Callum? I'm assuming that Revere is taking point.
Yeah, so my strategy here would be I would walk up, try and twat one in the throat. Pass him off to Ben, and then grapple the other one.
Okay, fair, but you're probably going to get a shout from the other guy there. I tell you what, here's how we'll do it. If you get a lucky number or a crit success, sorry, Ollie.
I was going to say, no, continue.
Yeah, if you get a lucky number or a crit success, then you move so lightning fast that the other guy doesn't even have time to scream before you go after him.
We not just try and go for these simultaneously stab in the throat with a knife.
Well, I mean, this works as well.
What's Imperial Guard armor look like? Let me have a speedy check.
If it's much like a lot of other armor throughout history, it's got a very distinctive weak spot at the neck to allow for movement.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with us just walking up, saying hi,
I'll
and then
change.
just stabbing him in the throat.
Yeah, it actually does look like it's got a weak spot at the neck. Like, it's not even a weak spot. The mods... The mods and the light armor both have armor at the neck, so mods usually include neck armor, and light armor has good leather guards, but steel armor, like elite guards would be wearing, is just a blank neck.
Nice. Let's do
Skyrim.
that.
Oh, to be fair,
I can even do it with my claws, to be honest.
like anything's practical in that game. Cool, so you walk up, as cool as you can, pretending emergency shift change, and you're clearly dressed, and they have no reason to believe that you're an intruder. There's been so much hubbub they wouldn't have heard the cry of guards way down in the dungeons earlier. We'll say Revere's taking the guy on the left, and not Yunbrick, Arnulf is taking the guy on the right. And you will get an instant fatality stab in the neck. Shall we call it 4 DOS or a lucky number on your combat style?
I suppose. What about my chances of punching him in the throat?
I mean,
Can't you stab him in the throat?
you can punch him in the throat too.
I'm going to get a better chance of success if I punch him in the throat.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can't use my best weapon to knock them both, to stun them both.
No,
because
you
it
can't.
makes a
You're
shitload
loud.
of noise.
Alright, you go stab him, I'm going to punch my guy in the throat. You won't be able to shout, so,
Can I
even
use
if
any?
we
Can I
winged
use
him-
skills or something like this?
Define
To-
which skill you
Well,
think.
like subterfuge or something like that to try and get them to drop their guard in any way.
I would. So I would think that would be involved in the approach, and I'm kind of giving that to you for free. Is the thing, because I don't want the big elite guards to just start a fight with you in the corridor. So I tentatively think maybe a no. It's
Looking straight there. Shall we go somewhere and set off like some kind of emergency that might draw people there?
No, because that might draw more people than we want.
Also, I'm just going to say
Why don't we? Okay, why don't we go and kill one of Tullius's backup? Because this is probably not going to work.
No, I mean, it is last session. I'm perfectly happy to wing it.
Suicide run.
Suicide by cop.
Go the Umbrick route.
I have a dead man switch.
If Team Khajiit rolls out of this fucking city on fire and half filled with magi-corrupted people, collects the reward, and then time stops, I'm going to be very unhappy with you all.
Look, you got one shot.
If you launch into Eminence,
Shot isn't very good.
I will punch you over the North Sea.
These weak claws are heavy.
God damn it. I'm so mad. Cool.
Come on,
Okay.
Bed. Don't count it out. Let's do it.
And with that,
Fucking
Revere
fine.
strides forwards, kind of leaving Arnulf to either abandon him or go with him.
I'll go with him. Fuck it.
Okay. So, combat styles rolls from both of you.
All right.
So
We
lucky
get
numbers.
Any bonus?
Is it technically metagame that you become far more suicidal when it's the last session?
Oh, God.
Yeah, but also last session.
That's not 4 degrees, is it?
Let's throw a lucky in there.
Give me a second. I'll. Sorry, I've got a puppy trying to gnaw on my foot.
No, that's understandable.
No.
You got a puppy?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a little golden pug.
Ah,
Retriever.
That's what it says.
Put
retriever.
an image in
It
Discord.
retrieves them.
I will get an image soon.
Yeah.
Also, I can't believe you haven't done that already, you motherfucker.
Okay, so
That is 2 degrees of success that got.
Okay.
oh, that's 3 degrees. That's not enough.
Okay. So here's what we'll say to the both of you. In fact, before I launch into it, are you both happy to let those rolls stand? You don't I don't think you can re-roll them, but I'm pretty sure you can spend luck to increase the DOS.
How much can I? What? So I can spend a luck point to get 1 degree of success.
Spend a luck point.
And I will do that because that will put me up to 4, which is exactly what you said.
Which fair, though there is also the matter of Revere.
Can he spend luck as well? Can he spend more luck?
I've already spent 1 luck. I've got 2 left.
You would need to spend both.
Spend the luck. Spend the luck.
I'd be happy spending both, and then that brings me up to 4.
Okay.
Go down swinging.
That's a net 4
Remember,
degrees,
you can
though.
always burn.
So, well, you'll have to now. So you both walk up, and in the midst of Arnulf explaining... In fact, you know what? It's the last session. You walk up to these two, Revere first, then Arnulf, with presumably Arnulf explaining, emergency shift change. Do you guys want to give me a speedy, how do you do this? You can kill both the guards silently. I guess Revere strikes first. Revere, how do you kill your guy?
Oh, I sort of walk up to him and I just say, those damn Stormcloaks and...
One is a Nord, one is a Breton.
Which one are you killing, Callum?
The Breton.
Oh, the Breton.
Okay.
Just unconscious bias there.
You got a bit of the old racism going.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he does. That's been his character for 21 sessions. 21? 22. Plus charging.
I mean, I would be just... there you go.
Stormcloaks and their statuesque bodies,
Revere walks up to the Breton and, them Stormcloaks, and punches the guy in the throat. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and then Power just punches him in the throat.
He collapses to the ground, getting ready to choke and splutter, giving you just enough time to reach down and gently snap his neck.
Doing this, and as the eyes go towards Revere punching, I would like to grab him, go full God of War behind the head move, just stab him up under the chin. For Skyrim, brother.
It's a very dramatic line. You do stab him under the chin, which does get him in the base of the brain, meaning he dies without hearing your one-liner. But it does feel very dramatic to you, and the gods are doubtless watching, so
You're meat puppeting his head with your knife. It's just nodding along.
Pulling the knife free, you lower the corpse gently to the floor, out of sight of the door. Okay, you have both successfully murdered Tullius's elite guards. You can hear from inside 2, maybe 3 voices, one of which is distinctly General Tullius's yelling.
Hey.
You could hide the guards, wait for those 2 guys to come out, then just murder General Tullius.
What I was thinking of was, if we can get away with it, if Revere runs off to get powder and tinder, we can block the door and set fire to it.
You realise one, though, will stop the other from happening after a short time.
Might also not be the only door in that room.
I don't think there's powder in this setting. I don't think they have guns. There was a shit ton of pitch, but it was located in one room and you burnt it.
There is a lot of varnish, to be fair.
There was a lot of varnish. You burnt that too.
Did the warehouse blow up last session? Oh, it did, didn't it? Fuck me.
You were killed by it.
What? I wasn't killed by it.
You were playing a thug at the time. You were eating chicken wings.
Oh, yeah. I was eating the chicken wings. Yes, sorry, I do.
Yeah, we were annihilated.
Yes, I do remember.
It was a whole thing.
Sorry, I thought you meant Youngbreak. I was like, no, he got killed this session, not last session.
I remember I was there for both.
Yeah, right? I'd hope you were. I mean, you clearly weren't. You decided vampire, but said the point.
I almost said Catclop then. Revere and Arnulf, what are we doing? As from round the corner, Catclop appears in full Imperial uniform.
Ah, look at the cat wearing people clothes.
Well, our options are at this point: we run in, we burst through the door and hope for the best. We burst through the door, pretend that the Stormcloaks are after us, and hope for the best. We move the corpses of these guards somewhere, and then plan something, but then there's going to be blood around. We run off to find some sort of store.
I think what we should do is, now we've killed these guys, we should back off, because, and follow me on this one. We should
going
back
campaign
off.
of terror here.
Yes, basically. We want Tullius to feel as insecure as possible, because while people might think that they have in fact caught the dastardly villain who set the pitch fire, the murder of Tullius's personal guards will convince them they haven't.
Okay, so you want to, like, murder random people throughout the tower for the rest of the
This
night.
does seem like the plan. We just murder them two at a time.
Look, I'll admit I'll admit this straight away. My plan went very Conrad Kurz at the beginning, and I don't really know how to finish it without going more Conrad Kurz. So we're just going to stick with the murder, okay?
Murder Batman for Callum's reference. Yeah, sure. Okay, what are you fancying rolling for that? Do either of you have a strong pitch for how you would like to randomly murder lots of innocent people just doing their job?
I've got quite good subterfuge.
This is a castle full of traitors.
This is a castle full of traitors.
And really, it's for their own good. They'll be thanking us in Sovngarde if they get there, those filthy traitors.
Wiping the blood off another Nord. Cool, yeah, I will take maybe combat style over dex. You know what, let's have combat style over dex from both of you, and we'll see how well the two of you do respectively.
Okay. Do you mean agility?
Yes, agility.
That is a pass. Mine is only a pass of 1 degree?
Mine is 4 degrees.
So net 5 degrees between the two of you. Yeah, especially when you're not trying to kill Tullius's elite personal guards, it's kind of easy to sneak through the castle and find isolated people. People doing stock duty, people manning watch posts solo, people rushing through the corridors who might not notice you hiding in the shadows. Grab them and quickly murder them, with seemingly little pattern, because there really is no pattern other than their easy, opportunistic targets. Jesus, 5 DOS net. Cool, I will take 4 D3 from Revere and the D3 from Arnulf, please.
Okay.
I got a 1.
Okay.
Damn.
So between the two of you, you kill 10 people scattered throughout the castle.
Wow.
Without being noticed.
Revere, can Revere just be absolutely loving this? Like he's giddy.
Turns out
it's like Christmas.
Kill people when they don't expect to be killed.
I was going to say as well, for Revere, do you want to be daubing messages like Skyrim will remember this on the wall in their blood?
I like Ulfric's so dreamy. You can't handle Ulfric.
Have you heard the tale of, God, what's the name?
Ulfric the Wise?
Ulfric at his worst. You can't handle
If you can't handle him at his worst.
Bulfric Loincloak. Fear the wrath of Bulfric Loincloak.
Oh, yeah.
This song that will never get made.
Yeah, Arnulf's just dragging Revere away as he's writing out the lyrics.
You could at least mention the cart. Fuck you, Tullius. Remember my cart?
Remember that time he killed that dragon in front of us? Oh my god.
Would you shut up?
Okay. Fuck, I got tonic on my shirt. I was trying to remember the name of the guy's face, but I don't. God, I should. Hold on a second.
Could we try and find the Court Mage's store?
Cato. Fucking Cato. Sorry, the Court Mage's shop. It'll be in the Blue Palace.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Well, hypothetically, technically it's wherever the Court Mage is, which at the moment is down on the docks.
Some kind of dark elf terrorist action.
The rest of the night passes in utter confusion, frankly. There is an almighty fire raging throughout Solitude. The murders in Castle Dower are noticed after perhaps the third or fourth one. And though the guard goes up, the murders continue, indicating that there is someone, perhaps someone's, rushing around Castle Dower, murdering someone, just random people in the night. There is some strange sickness or malady down at the docks which has struck dozens and dozens of people, causing them to die in horrific ways. Sorry, Ollie?
I said, damn fucking straight. Also, I'm sorry for the casualties of war. They were innocent bystanders, but you have to break a few eggs to make a few omelettes.
That's alright, you're not sorry for anything, you're dead.
Yeah, it's true.
Meanwhile, in the soul cairn, morning dawns, and an almighty horn blast goes up, first inside Castle Dower and then echoing out over the walls, waking Team Khajiit in their luxurious townhouse. Solitude is under siege. An army
It is time.
seen marching on the city. Sorry, someone's typing very loudly.
Sorry. Not really.
That's fine, just like mute.
Yeah. I've done a noise suppression, so can you hear this?
I can hear you saying this.
Oh, and you can't hear me typing.
Cool. Yes. Well, we'll just flip out to Team Khajiit. You can hear the alarm trumpet go up, which has probably been drilled. You might have seen notices up around town like, when you hear this noise, the city is under siege. Martial law is immediately enacted. What do Team Khajiit?
Brother, will you dress me in my funny Stormcloak clothes?
Yes, they are indeed funny. Okay, let's try not to die. I suppose I start dressing him. Like, how's the staff reacting?
It depends. Are you dressing him in Stormcloak clothing with the Stormcloak army besieging the walls with them still here? Or...
if they are still there, I'm just gonna shrug and be like, we planned for both events. Gotta be prepared.
I'm playing the field, so I always come out on top.
The lead butler steps forwards. Sir, may I be the first to say, do you perhaps have a spare costume?
I'm gonna pretend to rifle through my stuff and then apologize. Yeah, I did not expect to have any extra.
In that case, if you will excuse me, he doffs his non-existent cap, I must be away to my family.
Understandable, yes.
And with that, he and the rest of the staff kind of bolt out of the door, which is honestly fortuitous timing, as I think your lease was actually up and you hadn't renewed. So
now we can take everything that's not nailed down.
Well, yeah. All right.
You were not going to do that anyway?
Well, not with the staff watching, they weren't.
I presume they were going to do it with the staff watching anyway.
What you're saying is ultimately, all we've done is just engineer a situation that has basically led you being able to, take everything that isn't the kitchen sink from a very rich person's house.
No, they can take the kitchen sink as well.
I mean, if we can, yeah.
Probably quite valuable, either ceramics or metal.
More just like that large, bulky item, and you may not want to take it with you.
Let's hear from Team Khajiit. What is your pitch on your looting roll? What would you like to roll for this?
I would like to roll.
See how much it costs to rent a horse.
Because, unless we do manage to somehow come across a Owen bar on the way out,
it's unlikely.
That makes me sad.
Oh, Jesus.
I kind of wish I'd pumped commerce, because I would say I'd roll commerce to see what's the most valuable.
A draft horse is 600.
To rent?
I mean, to buy. But I don't know if someone's going to rent your horse, it would seem.
I would say there's a very obvious solution to this.
Steal the horse as well.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. You are Khajiit. It is almost expected.
Do I go for an
It ain't nailed down, so,
Makes it worse, not better. You could maybe buy a pig, that's somewhat cheaper. What are you going to ask, Creed?
Can I go for an investigate roll? See if there's any hidden stashes.
Yeah, to prioritise and or find like super wealthy shit. Sure, I'll take investigate over perception at a +0.
Sure.
I'd usually say it might be a bit more difficult, but you spent 2 days here.
Oh.
Yeah, no, there's lots of fine stuff, but evidently no one's leaving their super valuable stuff in the Airbnb townhouse. Or Skyrim, the Ethereus B&B.
Man, it got me my hopes up. Both 77 and 99 are lucky numbers. But 88 is not.
I like your strong scheme, though. Cool, in that case, from the one of you, I will take... What's your birth sign? Cursed Astrolad. Oh, it's cursed, right, that makes sense.
Star Cursed Astronet.
God damn it. I will take... I think this is probably arguably a subterfuge roll. I will take subterfuge over perception from one of you. The other one can assist if you've both got it trained.
Journeyman rolling at 40.
What's subterfuge rolling off again?
60?
Perception in this instance.
So I'd be at 50, so I'll assist you.
Alright. That's me. There we go. Oh.
What's your DOS there, Carl?
I believe that would be 6 degrees of success.
6 degrees of success. Okay. Cool. Actually, because I don't know if you necessarily need a horse, right? You could just have a backpack and probably... Because people aren't going to be fleeing via the city gates when there's an army outside, right?
Yeah, most likely choose boat or something.
Yeah,
right?
Everyone's fleeing via the docks, which the city guard are desperately trying to stop, but they're also still trying to control that fire and enforce the quarantine zone. So, boats are markedly cheaper. You even know of a boat you can steal, unfortunately. I'm so sorry, Callum.
Does it happen to be known as the Smokey
It happens
Helgen?
to be known as the Smokey Helgen.
Oh no!
Seeing that every single coin Callum has spent, every single coin has
I've
eventually
been-
gone to the Khajiit.
Betrayed at every turn.
You haven't spent
Greater
a
good,
single
Callum.
coin in this
Think-
town that hasn't gone
Callum.
event towards the Khajiit, I think.
But
Hold
think
on.
of how Ulfric will
I'm so
reward
sorry.
you when you deliver him solitude.
Sorry, what was the DOS again there, Carl?
6.
6 DOS. Jesus Christ. Okay, it's a fairly wealthy townhouse, we'll call it. 250 G's worth of sellable loot per DOS. What does that work out to? Lots.
1,500.
Yeah, 1,500.
I think I spent all of about 4 hours on the Smokey Helgen.
Oh dear. Okay, so with a comically oversized sack cast over Children's shoulder and 1,500 sellable G's worth of loot inside, assorted fancy cushions, velvet drapes, the silver cutlery, just everything mixed and matched in there, you set out into the town and make a beeline towards the Smokey Helgen.
You know, Callum, if it's any consolation, the greatest day of any boat owner's life are the day they buy it and the day they sell it. And if you look at it this way, it's impromptu being sold to the Khajiit. So, if anything, it's 2 great days in a row.
Steal it again.
I
It's impromptu being
suspect that
sold.
Revere would not see it that way.
Hey, I mean, look at it this way. You get our cart and everything on it. Like,
You also never had to know of the burdens of owning and operating an actual boat.
oh yeah, they're just money sinks.
True. What
Yeah.
was it that you originally even had on the cart?
I mean,
I
well,
have
the
to-
cart itself, for one.
I had some.
Yeah, the cart was my item, and we had an alchemist set.
Yeah.
I
I
had
see.
some lovely drawings of a rocket ship, some blueprints,
So
which are very valuable.
a large wagon is worth about half a boat.
Oh, so we traded up.
Oh yeah, you guys definitely traded up. The alchemy kit.
I traded up. You did no such thing.
The alchemy kit is worth 500 though, which is the same price as the boat. So it is actually a net profit for Revere if he just keeps all your shit.
He's a captain in the Stormcloak Guard who delivered Ulfric Stormcloak his greatest prize.
While we're on our way, I'll occasionally telepath out, Catclop, if you're around, meet us on that guy's boat.
That guy.
That guy.
I am in the docks area.
You've never been on the Smokey Helgen.
You were in the most remote part. You know what? We've got a luck statistic. Roll me your luck, young Nicholas. +0. If you get even a simple success, you're Gucci.
How much luck has he got?
I don't know. This is tense.
I bought the boat partly to stop Catclop finding the Smokey Helgen.
I will use a luck to reroll that, please.
You can indeed.
Yes! That's 3 degrees.
Catclop, you're sitting in your little hovel. What? I don't know. Gnawing on a spider you found. Kind of mulling over your...
On a child.
Gnawing on a child?
You're not gnawing on a child. You've been trying to avoid getting hunted by the guards all night. You are not gnawing on a child.
Gnawing on a frost spider, like a fully sized one.
Jesus Christ. Sure, you're gnawing on a fully sized frost spider that came up through the floor and then died a terrified death. Which, good, it's a spider, give a fuck.
Oh, a nice family to munch on. Oh, shit.
That's a big-looking dog there. Oh, no. You're just about to hit the fairly lethal venom glands, whereupon you will eat the venom and die. even though it's venom and not poison. Because raisins. And fuck you, John, if you're listening. John and or Sophie. When you hear a voice in your head, a familiar voice in your head, a voice addressing you by the title Catclop. A voice telling you to come down to the docks. Catclop, what do?
I do as it says.
The docks are a big place.
He said, at that guy's boat, and I know what he's talking about, right? Because I know the boat that they bought.
Well, you are both looking for the boat, to be fair. You know the boat by name, they know the boat by name, and I think vaguely where it is, but not exactly. I don't think, if I recall correctly, I don't believe... Sorry, I'm a few gins in at this point. I don't believe Revere actually had enough time to tell them exactly where the boat was, but he did mention the name. So they're wandering up and down the docks, trying to find the Smokey fucking Helgen, and you bound down the docks, see Revere, and canter up to him. Team Khajiit is entirely reunited against the odds.
How even 30 minutes ago, I think it was, you said it's entirely impossible almost for Nick to be able to escape here. And now it's happened. It's a beautiful thing.
Low-key forgot the mass telepathy.
Useful in finding people.
Also, I'm assuming you say I bound up to Jomo rather than the Revere.
Yeah, sorry, Jomo.
He's a few things in.
Just to clarify.
As we make our last stand to try and kill Tullius, suddenly from across the horizon.
Even though we've caused chaos, have we actually opened or found a way to make it so the main gates to the city can, you know...
No, fuck no.
That wasn't our job. It was purely to sow chaos.
Purely to sow chaos, okay.
I don't think we have time for another auction.
Make it easier for them to access the gates, but
it's going to work at this point either.
That was Whiterun, Ollie. Cool. Team Khajiit, you reunite and then realise you're actually more or less next to the Smokey Helgen.
Convenient.
No.
What do?
Could have seen this happening.
Hop on, sail out, I guess.
Yeah, to clarify, it's just like a rowboat, right?
I think it's a sailboat, actually. I think it's a small sailboat.
It's a lot of money.
It's a little sailboat, I like to imagine.
Exactly, it's a sailboat. It's not an actual ship, but it is a sailboat.
Okay,
Can Revere just happen to pass a window in Castle Dower and look out?
You can't see the docks from Castle Dower in that level of detail.
But he sees a sail raise and then leave.
You know what, Revere? You get a horrible sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach. Like somewhere, someone awful has just stolen your fucking boat.
Could it be a sinking feeling because none of the Khajiit know how to sail?
It is a very specific feeling. Well, no one in this party knows how to sail. It is a very specific feeling, but a feeling you've been kind of low-key expecting since you left your boat unsupervised.
Muttering to Arnulf, they've only gone and fucking done it, haven't they?
Those fucking mad lads.
My last possession.
Arnulf maybe just quietly ignores that.
Arnulf, help me write this stanza.
I'm not getting involved, mate. We've got work to do.
Team Khajiit, just for my reference, where are you sailing?
I'm trying to think of greater map.
Atmora.
You can look at the map. Don't sail to Atmora in a fucking rowboat. Sail.
They could corner the market.
I guess just as southbound as we can get, probably.
Oh, we're going through the channels, like the rivers and stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can actually sail out and then south. There's a lot less traffic going south. You hear some cries of traitor as people see you sailing vaguely in the direction of the Stormcloak army. But what are they going to do, go after you? Everyone's trying to man the walls at this point. Okay. Back to Team Nord. We've got half an hour to resolve your storyline before we want to, jump into the post-game. You've spent the entire evening running around, opportunistically murdering people in order to strategically confuse people. The horn cries have just gone up, indicating that Ulfric's army is at the walls at the very moment the dawn breaks over the horizon. What do?
Such a beautiful sight.
You're currently...
I feel like we could be sowing more chaos.
That's true.
More murder?
How? More murder, yeah.
Cue another montage.
More murder.
Gonna do a montage. A very murdery montage.
If you want to risk it, I'm probably going to impose difficulty now that it's the day and highest possible alert.
No, I think we should probably focus our efforts on getting the fuck out of here.
It's okay though, right? Yeah, you have a boat down at the docks. If you can just get there.
A
nagging, sinking feeling inside Revere.
Okay, let's focus on getting out of here. We've sown plenty of chaos.
Yeah, plenty of murder.
You killed General Tullius. You didn't know, right?
No, we didn't kill Tullius. We killed his personal guards.
Ben counted it out.
Because there were multiple people. If it was just Tullius, we could probably try it, but with there being multiple people in there, we're just going to die.
That's just Ben counted out with more words.
Time has passed. You can now pretend to be his personal guard and wait for him to be alone.
No. The whole place is on the lookout for spies. In fact, they were already, and then these guys spent the entire evening making them even more on the lookout for spies.
We're your new personal guard. Just started today.
They say, turning up in blood-spattered recruit uniforms. Looking like people he's seen before and spoken to.
The armour of the people you kill. Now, granted, it may be
actually, one of them is wearing the armour of the person he killed.
There's a whole thing about that.
Well, anyway, let's go find this cart.
It's quite visible, actually. It's in the impound lot.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we got to go down and grab it, I suppose.
How are you going to get the cart out of Castle Tower?
I honestly don't have any clue.
But open the gates just as once promised me. Pinky swear.
Please. We just...
For the record, to remind you,
we get this cart out.
Your mission was not strictly to get the cart out yourselves. Ulfric was also interested in getting the cart.
We could just get our items from the car. Like, mine's a flute. I could just grab
mine's a shovel. That's very true. We could just try and grab our items and then peace out.
Who gives a fuck about the cars at this point?
Like how we may have caused the end of the world just because of a shovel and a flute.
Look,
I will remind you of your session timer, guys. You have until 10 o'clock your time.
Okay, fuck it. We're going for the items. Then we're going to cheese out of Castle Tower.
We'll do our best.
I'll take a subterfuge roll from one of you at a +10. to get down to the impound lot without anyone noticing and ordering those clear recruits to the walls.
Do you have subterfuge, Callum?
Nope. We've been through this many, many times.
Well, I do. So that be perception or...
probably agility.
That's a pass of 1 degree.
Yeah, you have to wheel, deal, talk your way through more than a few minor guard posts, but you do get down to the impound lot. It's not so much getting into the impound lot that's the issue, it's people telling you, what the fuck are you doing? Get to the walls! As they are mass ordering people to the front. Once in the impound lot, there's more than a few things in there. There's a horse. Full stop. That's it. It's just a horse. No, so there's several horses. There's one very sleepy cinch, and at the very back is what you can see clearly, the form of that Khajiiti cart you were all stuck on. What do?
It's here. At last.
Revere approaches in an almost dreamlike state. As he advances, he can see on the cart still, wrapped up in the back, the items that were found on it, left, forgotten, as the war effort advanced and took all minds and arms.
Wait, come on, let's just grab the stuff and go.
Agreed. Okay, let's go. So I just grabbed my my flute.
And Arnold, what are you grabbing?
My shovel. What else was on there, to be fair?
An alchemy set, the cart, some blueprints. The blueprints might be... Oh, I'd like the blueprints, because as far as I know, Ollie's still alive.
Back.
What were the blueprints?
Callum, you've always been my favourite, so I never told you that.
Yeah.
No, you betrayed him last time, in fact.
Oh, yeah, but I suppose...
Not intentionally.
Quiet.
I've been betrayed a lot, so I feel like being the bigger cat. So I'll take the blueprints as well.
Big love, man. I'm sending you big love right now.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, big love is what you say to someone when you do something awful to them and don't really want to make an apology.
Yes, that's why he's always said it to me continuously.
So anyway, I take the blueprints.
I've always said it as big love, but, you know.
No, Ollie, you haven't. You've been in on that joke since... Oh my god, I'm so tired. Oh
no, I found my flute!
So, the full list of items on the card were your flute, Arnulf's shovel. I don't think Catclop had anything. There was the Khajiit had the cart as a whole. Catclop, did you have anything?
You said I didn't need to because you were taking the cart and the alchemy set and you thought that was enough.
Yeah, fair enough, okay. So the Khajiit had the alchemy set. There was Yunbric's blueprints for something or other, I believe. And then other than that, finally, there was a mysterious artifact which Arnulf didn't remember what it was when he excavated it, because I think he was hit around the head or something.
Something like that.
Which is still wrapped up in the back.
Well, we should probably take that as well.
Is it carryable?
I say
it's
big
quite
love.
Small. It's about handheld.
Let's take the
there you go.
Feels quite spiky as you grab the sack with it in.
In my defense, Ewan, I used to say big love.
Ollie, now is not the time, man.
But
okay, Team Nord, what are we doing? You have acquired your items and left the cart and the Khajiit alchemy set.
We can't get the Khajiit alchemy set out, so we can always recover the cart later.
Yeah, that's fine. We need to get out of here. So, are the gates of Castle Dower closed as well?
They're open, but they're checking papers, even for like large groups of people.
That's fine. How many guards are there around?
Quite a few. It's what you had to like wing your way through to get into the impound lot.
Yeah, but they're checking people. Surely they're checking people coming or going in, but not going out.
Coming and going. They're on really high alert for those spies, and they don't want them to just slip out through the front gates.
That's very true.
They murdered like 12 people last night.
Okay, so are there any other ways out?
13, in fact, including that prisoner.
What do we cause a distraction?
There's only the gates out of Castle Dower.
And the docks. You have a boat.
That's Solitude, not Castle Dower.
We do have a boat.
Can't sail out of Castle Dower.
Cannot
You could
s-
try.
We scale the wall.
Technically, you could air sail or something.
We should probably get some papers then.
I've got a grappling hook and rope back with my stuff.
Doesn't feel that's going to get us noticed.
Doesn't Castle Dower go over the water as well?
No. It's set into the mountains. So opposite side of town.
You definitely also do not want to be doing anything over 70 meters as a dive into water.
If you throw something ahead of you, it's alright, because then the water's broken up.
Yeah, but you got to then contend with the fact that thing hasn't sunk as far as you thought it may have, and now you hit that.
So you
Not
throw it to the
relevant.
side.
Not relevant. The castle is not over the water. Though also, for the record, Castle Dower, for all it's fortified, is not 70 meters tall. Team Nord, where are we at?
We should probably get some papers then, because someone's going to notice a grappling hook.
Surely one of the people that we murdered earlier on.
You could potentially... Well, I don't think you were collecting from them, nor do I think they were necessarily people with papers out of town.
What? This is Skyrim. What do you mean we weren't collecting from them?
It's a very surprisingly cogent point. I will say there are large groups of recruits leaving. You could potentially spoof your way into the back of one of them.
Probably try that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
It's the best we've got, other than...
If not, we cheese it.
I think that's probably subterfuge over performance. In the interest of tension, we'll say at a +0.
Subterfuge over personality, you mean?
What did I say?
Performance.
Yes, personality. God damn, I've got fucking World of Darkness Scooby-Doo on my head now.
I could wrestle the wall and call it
That
planning.
is a pass of 1 degree.
I feel like you thought that was more dramatic and then did the maths in your head and then realised it was just 1.
I just figured it could have been 2 and I was just double checking the number.
No, that's very fair. I mean, it's fair either way. It's just entertaining. Cool. So, yeah, the two of you, somewhat conspicuously carrying your sacks of assorted gear, though you didn't, I don't think retrieve Revere's extra stuff from the dungeon, but I guess, easy come, easy go. Slip into the back of a group of recruits rushing out.
Oh, shit! I lost Ulfric's Stormcloak's water skin.
Yes, you did. What was it you said? I'll keep this forever?
I did.
You
Damn.
lied to Ulfric, did you?
Less than a month.
Oh.
You lied to Ulfric. You betrayed
I don't want to lie to Ulfric.
It's okay. When he has you executed, he'll understand. You slip into the back of this group of people, this group of recruits, rushing out to the walls. Their sergeant up ahead hurriedly shows the papers for the group, indicates, yeah, no, we're fine. I recognize these guys. We're going out. Come on. Ulfric's here. Let's go. The guard hurriedly reads through the papers and then scans you out. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There should only be 10 people. Wait a second, 12. But by that point, you're already out of the gates. You hear a mild cry of alarm go up behind you. What do? For the record, they don't know that it's specifically the 12th, the final pair who were too many. It could have been any pair in the run.
Walking.
Sorry?
Just keep walking.
Just keep walking.
Hurried footsteps from behind you and shouts.
Just keep walking.
Your group reaches the edge of the cleared zone. You're into the urban area when the sergeant at the front holds his fist up, turns around, and sees the people rushing towards him. Stop here, lads. We've done something.
I would just like to turn to Revere, nod once, and fucking cheese it.
Yep. Let's just leg it.
All right. So we'll call this athletics over, I guess, agility. Where are you booking it to?
Away from is the more impertinent
Yeah,
thing.
sorry. Obviously, the Smokey Helgen.
Yeah, the Smokey Helgen. We've got to go there.
You can also spend a stamina to double your movement speed for a scene.
I could also punch my way through anyone who gets in my way.
Athletics.
How many things have you punched so far?
Can I do athletics
they've got
over
5
endurance?
minutes left.
Can I do athletics over endurance? I'm an old man. I'm not fast anymore, but I can still keep going.
I only need to outrun you.
This is very much it's 14 minutes. My brain. I'm having a strack. No. This is a speed situation first and foremost. I'm afraid you've got to outpace them, not just outstamina them.
Okay, it's fine.
Right. Let's do it.
Okay,
Then.
I will spend a stamina point then to gain
Was it athletics over strength?
If I spend stamina, I can
endurance?
get plus 20 because this is a running test,
Over
right?
agility.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have a...
Thank you.
I would say you can have a plus 20 if you spend a stamina. Sure, why not? We've been letting young Nicholas do it the whole
There you
fucking
go.
time.
That is 3 degrees of success.
Would you like to burn some luck there, Revere?
I would like to burn some luck.
Or are you happy to... Sorry, just to clarify, which one of you has that artifact on them, for my reference?
Me.
Yeah, is it you?
Yes, because I was the one who said they picked it up.
Yeah,
He's the archaeologist.
Exactly. I know where it is.
All right then. Let's burn some luck.
All right.
I forgot how burning luck works. Do I roll again, or do I just take it off?
3 luck off of your total luck characteristic, and then you get 1 reroll out of it.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, that took a while to reroll.
That really did.
Doss?
Okay, so that's 2 degrees of success.
And 3 from Arnulf. So, with a speedy look from Arnulf, you seem for a moment like you're just going to stand there very professionally with the rest of the recruits, looking confused as the gate guards and a squad of enforcers behind them come out rushing towards you, rushing to check and see, no, irregularity. And then, like the fucking wind, you're off down a side street. The guards rush after you. Several of the recruits rush after you, but you're into the mess of Solitude's network of alleyways and such. Themselves thronged with refugees, people gathering all their shit together and rushing to move further away from the domiciles nearer the walls. Many areas here thronged with people who have only just got away from the burning, gigantic column of fire in the center of Solitude, where that warehouse blew up, and a lot of the city's still ablaze. You are just about able to outpace your pursuers, rushing down to the docks. Not totally. You can still hear them behind you. They don't know exactly where you've gone, but they're pretty sure that they're on the tail of the spies here, so you can hear cries in the distance, some of which sound military. You get to the docks, rocking up in front of your conveniently placed area of escape, and see only 2 boats parallel parked either side of the empty space where the Smokey Helgen formerly was. And in the mud in front of that little area of the dock, the distinctive pawprint of Catclop.
I fall to my knees. I'll kill every cat I fucking find.
I would just like to grab Revere by the wrist. Later, we can go about revenge later. For now, we're still running.
Fine.
Okay. 9 real
Revenge. What's what?
Sorry, Nicholas. 9 real life minutes to escape the city before the guard just automatically capture you.
Well, there's boats either side. So
continue to cheese.
Those were 2 very different reactions.
How high are the city walls?
To Solitude,
what?
Quite high. You will break your legs at least falling out of them.
No, I was thinking grappling hook.
We don't have the
We
grappling
don't have
hook.
the grappling
You
hook.
don't
Shit.
have the grappling hook.
I could try and wrestle the wall and call it climbing.
No.
Okay. Can I
let's
roll?
take a boat and go south.
Can I roll intelligence?
Pin the wall.
Can I roll intelligence and
9 minutes.
investigate or navigate to know if there are any smaller gates in Solitude that would be less well guarded?
Solitude only has the one, I'm afraid. It is easily the most well-defended city in Skyrim, bar none.
Get a boat, go south, meet up with the army.
Yeah, as you're trying to think of this, Revere is very transparently looking around.
I'm pulling rank. I tell you what. I will pull rank, grab him, and Arnulf, as your captain, I order you to get on that boat.
It says, pointing at several nearby boats. Cool. I will take subterfuge over perception to see which nearby boat is going to be easiest to steal.
It's me then.
Yep.
That is 4 degrees of success.
You glance around, you're just in the middle of a blistering retort to Revere about, what the fuck boat are you even supposed to steal? Everything here's securely tied up. There are people on everything, as your eyes settle on a nearby rowboat. With very conspicuously no one around, and only a slightly loose knot tying it to the pier.
The Leaky Helgen.
It's, along the side, it says the Pride of Dawnstar.
Oh.
It is indeed slightly leaky. The marshal yells in the distance, grow nearer and nearer. They're perhaps 2 streets away at most.
I would like to whisper a quick thank you to Talos and jump in the boat.
Make the sign of the hammer?
Cheers, Talos. You've got my back.
Talos takes the proverbial wheel, and the 2 of you rush for the boat. Okay.
You row, I'll pail.
Revere is desperately, not having a pail, scooping water out of the boat.
Would you like strength over athletics for this?
I will take athletics over strength. Not necessarily for the paling, but to escape the spells, arrows, and potentially another boat coming
Don't just spend a stamina.
I'll wrestle the water out.
That's a pass of 1 degree. Is that going to be enough, Calendar, we reckon?
Well, I think it's probably going to be an opposed roll from them, so we'll see. Six minutes. Callum, thoughts?
Sorry, I've lost track. We're rowing away, but
are we re-rolling?
You both jumped in the rowboat. You're currently frantically paddling out and then downstream or upriver. Not downstream. What the fuck am I talking about? Upriver towards the Stormcloak army, but also out, so you get away from boats and arrows and spells. But you can in fact see at this point the guards clattering onto the docks. They're going to start flinging ranged weapons at you. They're going to start flinging spells at you. They're probably going to commandeer a boat and come after you. So you need to escape upstream in the next 5 real-life minutes against an opposed roll from the Imperial Legion.
We've got the Thoom.
You do, but the range is quite limited, isn't it?
I was rowing. Hang on, let me just check the range. But 15 up to 25 meters. It's not as...
Still low.
I'd say we go for it rather than. Sorry,
motorboat. Thoom the water just behind you. Propel yourself.
The rocket boat.
He does not have. Well, actually, no. If you had 3 levels of Fusro Dar.
No, because when you Fusro Dar a wall, you don't go flying backwards.
That's a very good point, actually.
It's not how.
I think, as it's the last session, we should allow the rocket boat.
If you had an appropriate, but you don't. If you had
I vote rocket boat.
If he cups his hands around his mouth.
This is not a democracy. This is an autocracy.
But it is voted earlier.
And
we've got 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Come
4
on, let's
minutes,
do this.
guys. Just so you know, before you condemn them to
I have made a roll to start rowing away.
Yes, you've got 1 DOS currently. I've got the D100 prepared for their opposed. They might utterly fluke it.
The question is, do I re-roll it to try and get better? Because I'm rolling at a 78 or under.
It is potentially more a question
2
of
points.
Okay. I would like to
re-roll it then.
And before you do, consider that you can burn luck for extra DOS rather than re-rolling.
That also works. Last.
You can spend luck. I've still got 2 luck points.
You can also spend luck for. Well, actually,
I'm going to spend
you can only spend luck if you've got luck remaining.
Okay, I will spend my 2 luck points to bump that to 3 degrees of success.
Okay, then they need to get at least 3 degrees of success to even catch up with you. Okay. Sagahu.
Fucking fall over into the water.
The Imperial Legion get into a nearby rowboat. Does anyone have a suggestion for the name?
Pride of Solitude.
The failure
We're
of
in the Pride of
Solitude.
No, the Pride of Solitude's going to be a big fuck off warship.
General Tullius's pleasure palace.
Okay, no, Pride of Riften.
the pride of Riften.
I was going to say the. Never mind. Actually, never mind.
The Leaky Argonian Maid.
Okay, they hop in the Leaky Argonian Maid, a nearby sailing ship.
The mental connotations of that. I mean, it's just
Pace, 2 minutes.
And thrust out the oars and start desperately paddling after you. However, halfway through, the strain becomes too much, and the Leaky Argonian Maid snaps in two on its multi-million 5 degrees plus maybe 6, I didn't calculate exactly, of failure, snaps in two in the river Carth, and the Legion go tumbling into the water, screaming and shouting bloody murder as the spies escape upstream. You
escaped.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. What do you have outpaced the Imperial Legion and escaped from Empire-held solitude. What say to each other?
Thankful that's over.
It's a beautiful day, Arnold.
Aye, we've still got those cats to kill as well.
Oh, yeah.
But actually,
We'll save that for the sequel.
You know what? I don't think we do need to kill them, because you know what? We're going to be able to collect the money. And they won't.
You're right.
You're harumphing in believe at just about the moment that you sight the Smokey Helgen moored next to the Stormcloak camp upriver from Solitude.
No. But don't worry, Revere, because look what I got. Exactly what Ulfric wanted.
Yeah, we've already collected the reward and legging it.
No, but the reward is when he gets the cart.
Indeed.
I imagine our idea would be to
and the
swap
artifact
the boat
on the cart
for a cart and leave.
I mean,
you can have the boat.
So you pull up and you know what? We're going to do a little bit of a speedy time skip here, just so we can get everything done in time. But you park your boat, you moor your boat at the Stormcloak encampment, and have what type of reunion does Team Khajiit have with Team Nord? How do the two groups of you feel about seeing each other again? And have either of you seen Arnulf anywhere, for the record? Not Arnulf, Yumbo.
So I think we pretend nothing happened, like, comrades!
We knew you'd get out of there fine!
I presume he's still
We
in the
brought
city.
your boat!
You say, as Yumbo gently smoulders next to a burning corpse.
Revere, covered in blood, wet up to his knees, steps out.
I mean, I don't think you were rushing around covered in blood. Otherwise, how the fuck did you get out of the castle?
Oh yeah, that's very true.
You just found some fish blood, right? And just daubed it on yourself.
Either way, he's not slept in a while. He's looking a bit worse for wear.
That's very true. Ulfric interrupts the 5 of you having your tearful reunion, eyeing you up. Where is the dark elf?
I think he's still in the city, mate. Beyond that, I don't know.
Ulfric shrugs. Acceptable loss.
No one bats an eye.
Everyone shrugs.
Why are you batting eyelids, you fucks?
I mean, we presume he's still alive.
Tear was shed.
We presume you're still alive. We've not been told otherwise.
How did you do?
Can we all look over to the burning city?
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke emerging from Solitude. Ulfric kind of looks over at the smoke, looks over at you, looks over at the smoke. You're saying that was all you?
Pretty much, yeah.
We like fire.
Yeah, they like betrayal and mugging.
You started it!
You were insubordinate.
When
You
you
never
take
follow.
When you take it, Castle Dower is going to have some mad tales about saboteurs in the pitch store and quite a lot of murder.
Ulfric's eyebrows raise. You sabotaged the castle tower itself?
Hey, mate. They ain't got no pitch to defend against the siege.
We blew up the docks.
Oh, they did blow up the docks.
The ghost of Youngbreak is like, I stopped. Maybe time travel.
Ulfric
I caused chaos and a mass manhunt.
I wrote a song.
The loss of so many Nordic lives saddens me. But it seems your job is well done. We may yet march on Castle Dower and retrieve the cart and its contents.
Speaking of that, mate, do you mean this? And that I'd like to present the artifact.
Now, you actually haven't opened the sack to check what the artifact is.
No, but he wanted the artifact on the cart.
That's very fair. Are you dramatically producing the artifact, or are you just handing him the sack?
I'll just hand him the sack.
I'd like to dramatically produce one waterlogged flute and a slightly soaked set of blueprints.
He's totally not paying attention to that and just looks eyes wide, mind-boggling at Arnulf as he hands him the sack. The leader of the Stormcloak Rebellion takes the sack from you, quietly, almost reverently reaches a hand in, pulls out an instantly recognizable artifact to anyone from Skyrim.
Oh no.
Inside is the jagged crown.
Oh.
The ancestral, traditional crown of the High King of Skyrim. An entirely legitimate method of claiming the kingship. And a hugely potent symbol to any and all undecided characters and holds throughout the entire country. With this, we perhaps do not even need to march on Solitude at all. I had not considered that you might successfully infiltrate and retrieve the artifact from Castle Dower. Had I known your abilities were on this level, I would not have marched us all here. Ulfric looks genuinely nonplussed and confused, pleased yet scared, terrified, but also, oh fuck, siege won.
So payment.
Payment indeed.
I feel like there's a lot of staring happening right now.
It's just like, we don't care. We don't care. Yeah, right. We get paid, right? We get daggers from the other two.
We haven't even seen Arnold for half a week.
Right,
well, shit. I could have sold that for so much money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's
far much more than we were about to get.
So you found the ultimate artifact everyone who's in the artificing business wants to find.
Not strictly speaking true, but it is extremely relevant now. It's vaguely analogous to the Stone of Scone, maybe, type of a situation. You can do without it, but you're a lot better with it.
Seems to come to mind.
Sorry?
The cathedral at Reims seems to come to mind.
Sure, also Krillin, but that is a cathedral rather than an artifact. Yeah. Cool. I would say there is a moment of a brief pause during which anyone could make a suggestion or request if any of you have a thing that might come up.
Got a cart going out of Skyrim.
Find Youngbreak.
And Team Nord?
I'd like a promotion. I would like to become the sub-Ulfric.
The
Ulfric?
Sorry, Vice Ulfric, I think.
Ulfric looks between the five of you. Which of you is responsible for this?
Can I just, raise my hand, properly?
In general, mate? Or in total?
In specific.
What, the crown or Solitude?
The crown.
They were under my command.
Oh, that's me. And also Revere, he was also there.
He was under my command. Well, post hoc.
Here is what we're going to do. You, he points straight at Arnulf. You are now captain of my spies.
I appreciate that. I'd prefer to be chief archaeologist to the king of Skyrim, but I'll take it.
After the Civil War, you can be chief archaeologist to whoever you like. Once I am High King of Skyrim, name your price. For all of you, medals. Very shiny medals.
I look at the other two sheet.
Double reward. And your pick of... what do you want? And Ulfric kind of breaks out into a slightly evil-sounding maniacal laugh.
Purely jokingly, like not actually in character, but in my mind, like when he said whatever you want, like my first reaction was to point at the crown, like I want that.
Your pick in Skyrim. Yep, no conditions there.
I'm glad you specified out of character, Cam.
Ulfric's there, like, foiled!
Ulfric is in a supremely good mood. He came here prepared to conduct an incredibly difficult siege with the specific goal of, firstly, murking his enemy without intent to hold, but secondly, retrieving this artifact, and finds that he doesn't actually need to conduct the siege if he doesn't want to. He's in an incredibly good mood. Any of you are in a position to request something amazing, a huge boon on top of double reward monies.
It's the finest card Skyrim has ever seen.
None.
I'll forgo any extra reward just to make sure that Revere gets a prime place amongst your soldiers. He is bloody loyal and all that.
Aww. You.
Can I get an extra medal? Just says the finest Nord in Skyrim.
I'm making you the first recipient of the Order of Ulfric, which is now our new highest medal. You are also vice captain of my spies.
I'll take it, Mr. Ulfric Stormcloak, sir.
Jomo and Catclop, you also have a boon apiece.
I kind of want to be like chief ambassador.
Sure, go ahead. He's in an absurdly good mood. And
Can I point out they mugged me?
Hey.
Did they though? You've got your boat now. Details.
It's all part of the plan, right? You would never have got like into the jail to pull off the plan, like if it wasn't for that. So.
And you sold me into slavery.
And I would have done it again. So you can't say anything. It's just we're just getting growling.
Just remember, two wrongs don't make a right. It's in this case where two wrongs make a right.
It's a song of propaganda against Ulfric.
Yeah, but they don't know that. It wasn't published.
Yeah.
I was there. I heard everything.
Died with the burning.
Again, you can't say anything.
I can have
Jomo and Catclop. Ulfric clicks his fingers. Where is Snowball? And an albino Khajiit marches forwards. Here, my lord. Translate for the sedge.
Wasn't expecting that.
Can I just... Revere's just there like, wait, what?
He's got other Khajiits.
You've got other Khajiits?
You're the only Nord-born Khajiit.
I thought I was your first.
This got real weird. Jomo and Catclop still waiting on your boons.
Oh, Jesus.
And Catclop, you have a translator, so whatever you say cannot just get distorted by Jomo. You have a minute. Real time.
God.
Come on, Nick, you got this.
Oh man, I'm torn between chief ambassador and minister of commerce.
You should become chief and banister.
Ambassador.
We could effectively.
Nick, you can do this. You can do something in under 1 minute.
I want a large portrait to be hung in his hold with my name, Dowimbar. imprinted below it.
I would like to look the albino Khajiit right in the eye and just come like, Catclop!
Snowpaw relates the story. Snowclop relates the story verbatim to Ulfric. Ulfric looks at Snowpaw, looks at Catclop, looks at Snowpaw, looks at Catclop, looks at Jomo. I thought you said his name was Catclop.
That is merely what we refer to him as a family nickname.
He holds up an arm in vague annoyance. I've been calling him Catclop this whole fucking time.
Because we consider you like family.
Wow, okay. He points to Catclop. Yeah, I know, Ollie. I'm speaking because it's Ulfric, so I have to speak closer to the mic.
Oh, I see.
Completely inaudible on the recording. I actually don't even know if I'm going to have to re-record Ulfric's lines and just guess what they fucking were because they're totally inaudible in Audacity. Anyway, points straight at Catclop. You know him, done. And then a finger at Jomo. Request, please, Carl. In the next 5 seconds, real time.
Chief Ambassador, please.
None. You are now my Chief Ambassador. You will stay with my court. You will conduct my espionage and my missions. You will not steal from me or people I like. And everyone else. Fuck them.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. Yes. I was worried for a second there.
Snowpaw. You are his assistant now. Snowpaw nods.
Wow. Snowpaw's a little bitch.
I'm sorry, dead guy says what?
Sorry, GM set vampire on me says what?
That was mean. But in my defense, Ollie, you had 10 sessions to come up with a plan for how to use that thing and just had nothing beyond making the device.
No.
So
You also sicked the head wizard and a vampire on me in one.
I didn't realise how ludicrously OP the Solitude Court wizard was until I started reading up her vague profile.
That sounds more like a you problem than a me problem.
And don't forget, he didn't sick all the guards on you as well, which probably would have been equal in fatality.
I'm just going to say, the being dead sounds like the epitome of a you problem, Ollie.
I didn't want to be mean, but yeah.
Being dead is definitely a me problem. The vampire part is definitely a Ewan problem.
It's not really a me problem either, honestly.
You're the one who fucking set the vampire on me.
But again, you know what? Never mind. But hey, on the bright side, dwarves can leave ghosts, so.
I'm sure I'm a very pissed off ghost right now. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe my life's goal was fulfilled. Therefore, I'm happily going up to try and, now defeat the Time God.
Don't know what criteria it is to leave a ghost in Tamriel as a whole. I don't know if you need to have things unfulfilled.
I suppose there was one thing that was unfulfilled, is that I still have no idea. I have a little bit of an idea, I think, what happened to the Dwemer, but not much.
No, you have no idea whatsoever.
I thought I got the history filled in a little bit for me at one point.
Oh, yeah, but you still don't know, what that actually entailed.
Yeah, like I said, I know a little bit, but I don't know the ins and outs.
You know when your race disappeared, and also that your race disappeared. But it is a mystery to the wider world, so it's an equal mystery to you. If it's any consolation, the only other dweller in the setting likewise has not a fucking clue, and he's significantly more clued in than you are. And you can even bring him clues, and he'll go, yep, no fucking clue. It's actually really sad. What's a lad? Yagrim, my boy.
I've heard of Yagrim. He's the one I've done a bit of reading about.
Yeah, Yagrim.
With its spider legs.
Yagrim and Devaith, my boys for life.
Oh.
Cool. So yeah, War Council, I guess. How do people feel about Ulfric besieging Solitude? He's got what he came here for. And he could lay a really costly siege, but he also arguably doesn't need to. But it might.
He doesn't need to. The whole point was that he couldn't unilaterally claim to be High King of Skyrim and rally the country to his cause because of the circumstances surrounding the death of the previous High King of Skyrim. But, having taken Whiterun with largely little bloodshed, he then suddenly shows off that he's got the crown? That sounds to me like there's some divine intervention here, like the gods are going, this guy right here.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to argue with that.
So does it sound like Team Nord is advocating a no, fuck it, we've done enough? How does Team Khajiit feel?
Save money where you can.
Not fussed at all.
Honestly, like I do want like our original cart and my alchemy set, like purely out of like deepest desire. But I got to be honest, like I'm willing to take that on the nose and accept what I got so far.
Yeah, you can probably expense an alchemy set. Honestly, I think you already demanded the fanciest cart in Skyrim. Was that not Zanzarim's request?
Yeah.
So yeah, Zanzarim, if you'd like to add one best quality cart, wagon in fact, to your inventory.
Excellent. I will just live in that for the rest of my life till someone pulls it somewhere.
It's a very good question, actually. I mean, we'll cover it in the post game, like what happens.
I'll take him around in it.
Yeah, I just mean, like, what's going on with Jomo? Because Jomo said he'd stay here to be the head diplomat. So do you stay with him, or do you move on? Or, like, what's the preference? Because Jomo's going to be drawing a fucking salary.
That's true.
The ultimate scam. High-quality government pensions. Okay, you know what? Callum, you're our most dedicated Stormcloak. Can I get a roll on behalf of Ulfric to see if he wins the Civil War in the long run? We'll call it 60 or under. You've stacked the deck fairly firmly in his favour.
Sure, let's go for it. What can ever go wrong? Oh,
that's
to think.
Luck? Did you have any luck?
Revere lost him the war.
2 degrees of failure.
Hey, I was playing Ulfric. Revere did his best.
Does he have any luck as a main character?
I would say it is anti-thematic for Ulfric to be lucking that.
Okay.
I will burn every luck point I have to.
As long as you are one of them. No. So, Ulfric fights a long, bloody, bitter, and excellent civil war. He rallies all holds to his banner, save solitude itself, even Revere's homeland of Markarth, after diplomatic intercession and more than a few assassinations from Revere and Jomo, rallies to the Stormcloak cause. However, the might of the Imperial Legion is able to slowly, hold by hold, starting from their base in the smoking ruins of Helgen, reconquer Skyrim. Bit by bit by bit by bit, until the Stormcloaks are forced back to just Wilhelm. Much of Skyrim is a smoking ruin, not helped by the ongoing dragon invasion in the background, which there is no one around to stop.
That's Ollie's contribution.
It is, for the record. It is. Which means...
Say, what's the Dragonborn?
No, there's no Dragonborn. You would require almost threw my mug off the table. You would require a Dragonborn in order to stop Alduin. There is no Dragonborn. Therefore, all Nords forever are doomed to be eaten by Alduin.
Everyone is doomed to be eaten by Alduin because he's freaking Alduin.
Well, no, if the Dragonborn was... if you had a Dragonborn, hypothetically, you might have beaten Alduin.
No, I mean, but because no one can stop him, no one hits him with Dragonrend, so he'll never leave the material plane, and thus he's just going to stick around as a giant dragon eating everybody.
Exactly, Dragonrend does not exist. So, congratulations, Ollie.
Hang on.
You have not actually corrupted the save, but your lasting contribution to this setting. So there was a thing you could do in Morrowind, right? You couldn't do it in Skyrim. Which is not like a judgment call. It was honestly better the way Skyrim handled it, to be frank. Sorry, Benji, we'll get back to it. But in Morrowind, if you killed a quest vital NPC, you would get a little notice that said, the thread of prophecy has been broken. Which was basically, you had the destiny, you broke your destiny, there is now no destiny, you are fucked. You cannot any longer win the game.
Unless you backdoor the main
unless you use the back door, which No one can at this point because the main character no longer exists.
So I put my little fucking device next to his dead body.
So you have successfully locked yourselves into a world where there is no Lovecraftian monster coming in from outside reality in order to solve your problems. Cthulhu does not turn up to beat Alduin into nothingness. There is no such thing as...
roll on that, because Dragonrend is invented by the predecessors to the the original tongues, but you get it at the throat of the world, so there should be some way for the Greybeards to get it. However, them using it successfully...
I hate to say this, but the Greybeards in this alternate reality do not have a great chance of survival. There are two likely outcomes for the Greybeards. Either A, they go down fighting and they die, or B, Parthenax has a change of heart and goes, well, I can't beat Alduin all by myself, and kills the Greybeards himself. Or, I guess, hypothetically, C leads them into evil with him, and now evil Greybeards are a thing. Which is how you get the Dragon Cult.
See if we get a 1 if the Greybeards go, you know what,
No,
fuck
I'm sorry.
Alduin.
You have lost the Dragonborn. The thread of prophecy, per the Morrowind rules, has been broken. You are locked into a fucked timeline.
I mean, you can throw Alduin through another time wound.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, there is that.
That is for another campaign, though. As the
What you're saying is, Ewan, is I won.
No, you lost.
No, you
Forever.
In fact,
You lost in the worst way possible.
Yeah,
Yes.
but because I didn't get anything from Ulfric, I take that as a win.
So, I mean, you achieved your goals.
Yes,
And died.
I achieved my goals.
You've young Nicholas the campaign. Well done.
That's right,
Yeah, I
young
was gonna
Nicholas
say, you
Nicholas
thawed it.
campaign before,
Yeah,
so I'm
actually, you did. You young Nicholas the campaign. So the real winner here then is young Nicholas, who for a change did not young Nicholas the campaign.
Yes.
Congratulations, young Nicholas.
Khajiit party!
So
And I got my name corrected at the end.
I mean,
Oh, Christ.
Those are all coming up, young
my
Nick.
contribution to the campaign is that I fucked us over in the timeline. I'm fine with that.
You didn't just fuck us. You fucked
Oh, yeah, you fucked
everybody.
the entire timeline. Well, I mean, yes and no. So, spinning on a bit then, how the Civil War plays out. The Empire slowly reconquers Skyrim, back from Ulfric, and Alduin reconquers Skyrim from the Empire. The Dragon Cult reforms, maybe with Parthenax, maybe without. Maybe if we do another one, we'll come back to that. The Dragon Cult reforms in Skyrim, taking over the entirety of the land, leaving only 2 strongholds left standing. Wilhelm, the centre of resistance with Ulfric's Stormcloak, and Solitude, legendarily the hardest placed siege in all of Skyrim, be you dragon or be you not. Solitude, the last bastion of the Empire in the north, Wilhelm, the last bastion of Nordic independence, and the rest of the lands, a hellish, ashen wasteland, strewn with ever-living, unkillable dragons, their slaves, and their cultists. In this hell, Jomo exists as chief ambassador to the Empire, a fairly cushy job, as he moves to the Imperial City. Catclop and Zanzarim, what do you do? Do you stay with Jomo, or do you continue travelling? Presumably to less dangerous areas.
I would have tried to bug out of Skyrim if I had the chance.
Yeah, but with me or not?
Yeah, that.
I would have offered you to come, but I wouldn't intend on staying here with you.
Oh, we gone to the Imperial capital.
Yeah, Jomo's going to the Imperium.
Not to the Imperium, to the Empire, to the Imperial Citadel.
Not the Imperium. Wait, no, not the Empire.
To
Wait,
the
no,
Imperial
no.
City, which is the capital of Cyrodiil, and the Empire, which is the province south of here.
Yeah.
It sounds like Catclop's waiting on Zanzarim's decision. Sorry, Carl?
I was going to say, it's like the cushiest place you can go.
Yes and no. Less so since the Old Mary Dominion took in, and there's like the low-key threat that it's going to be besieged at another point by... I mean, the term is used fairly lackadaisically, but literal fantasy Nazis.
Okay. I mean, we can still go somewhere else.
I would have tried to leave Skyrim before the war had even finished.
Okay.
As soon as possible after we got our rewards.
Sounds like Jomo stays with his cushy government job then, and sadly,
and I head off with Zanzarim.
And Catclop recruiting a new man, a new Khajiit, name of Thumbs along the way, who they've never met before, venture off into the wilderness to find fortune and favour elsewhere in the fanciest cart in all of Skyrim. Increasingly the fanciest cart in all of Skyrim after many of the rest are burnt to shit by dragons. The spies of the Stormcloaks organise resistance throughout Skyrim. From the wasteland that was formerly the wasteland known as Dawnstar, down to the burning hellscape that was once the Rift. Arnulf and Revere will never stomach anyone dicking them over. Be they dragon, be they empire, be they the fucking gods themselves.
Mad Maxing us up.
And, content in the oblivion that all good Dwemer go to, Yunbrick dies knowing that he'd made the world a better place. Okay, does anyone have any final remarks before we move on to the postgame?
Wouldn't Alduin try and conquer the entire world?
Narrative question.
Dick. And, okay, the other one is just a narrative question.
Cool. So, just to clarify then, what I was more opening up for, or trying to open up for there specifically, was corrections. If anyone was really unhappy with their end game, what they ended up doing, or wanted to go do something else instead.
I mean, I thought I was going to end up corrupting the save, but the fact I turned the world into a hellscape and essentially turned it into a Thawer 2.0.
You did corrupt the save. Your world now exists.
You did explicitly say I did not corrupt the save. You explicitly said I did not corrupt the save. I just changed it into a hellish timeline.
I didn't explicitly say that you hadn't corrupted the save, I don't think.
You did. I'm 90% certain you did.
I mean, how else would you explain this?
You said we had locked us onto the Morrowind way of doing timelines.
Oh, yeah. So what's basically happened is you have locked out the player from helping. Big spoiler, by the way. That actually was the player character the whole time. This has been the video game version of Skyrim. I know none of you figured it out, but that was the last Dragon Ball.
What a surprise!
I know you're very stunned by this. Yeah, so that is what's happened. You have successfully locked the player out of their save, dooming you to a playthrough of Elder Scrolls without the main campaign.
Where were the clues?
You could relevate to corrupted save because the player can't play it anymore.
Oh no, he probably just reloaded. There's an alternate version of your reality that's doing really well, where he loaded the save but one.
I would have I'd point out I would have made it clear to Jomo before I left Skyrim. So I'd like him to come with us if he wants. Sure, he can just tell him he's going for some ambassador gig and take loads of money with him.
If we could go via the Imperial City along the way, and just rob the shit out of them and then carry on, I'd appreciate that.
There's no reason not to.
Well, here's what we'll do, Carl. I will let you risk a final roll for the campaign. If you want to do a subterfuge over perception to see if you can manage to successfully rob the Imperial City. Is that a fail?
That depends on if I can use luck and how much Journeyman's subterfuge gives you. I think that's plus 20.
Yeah.
You can use your luck if you've got it.
Okay. Yes, that's going to be the last roll.
That's the last roll of the campaign.
On a final 100, Diplomat Jojo's
Bizarre Adventure.
I'm a few gins deep at this point, like half a bottle.
So long as I can Zaworodo.
I'm swapping to Discord on my phone. I won't be talking again. So cheers, guys, but I will be listening in.
Cool.
Okay.
Diplomat Jomo is caught stealing from his quarters in the Imperial City. More than his quarters, in fact, he's caught trying to steal the Imperial crown jewels. You did actually avert the murder of the Emperor, though, Ollie. So, there are various net butterfly effects. He is caught. He is imprisoned. And as the Stormcloaks are really not recognised, and he was kind of there on sufferance anyway, the next day he is executed.
I had a feeling it was going that way.
So goes Promo. But Thumbs
died as he lived.
stealing from everyone.
Touching someone else's crown jewels.
Cool.
Hey!
So, I think that brings us on to the post session. We don't need to do reminders, unless anyone wants to... Does anyone want to set any reminders for next campaign? No, we're not coming back to this.
Some of the demons, or equivalent.
Alduin is actually worse than most Deirdre.
Well done, Ollie. I'm proud
Just
of
a big hungry boy.
Yeah, mildly.
Though you made a conscious choice to bring back a demon, Nick, I made a conscious choice to kill someone who I didn't know.
Let's just never talk about what Nick did ever again.
Cool. Feedback about the whole campaign. Anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you'd like to see more of or less of next campaign. And all this session.
So, I really thoroughly enjoyed Young Brick's overall questline and the fulfilling of his stuff. I really enjoyed that I got to fulfill that. You know how we were talking at the very beginning about like maybe at some point if anyone comes up with an idea of like this overarching thing they want, they hash out a bit more of the thing. You know how I was thinking maybe it was more of a infinity field and you were like, no, that doesn't make sense. So something like that to hash out like overarching quest lines in a bit more detail. So, you know, still let them evolve organically, but have a better idea of the end goal.
I think that's totally fair and even a fun and cool idea. The thing there would be to poke me, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we, like we said, it was a bit of both our faults. You should have asked. You should have clarified. I should have asked. So next time we can just do that together.
I guess just like general notice for everyone. Then that is an option. You can poke me about this type of thing if it's a thing that you would be interested in. But
yeah,
cool.
But other than that, fucking great campaign, man. Really enjoyed that.
Feedback appreciated. Anyone else?
I think for me, obviously, really enjoyed the setting, of course. I think it works really well. Would love to do one again. I think my only thing to say would be maybe it was a little bit too easy, especially compared to Sorcerers, which admittedly was a bit of a death march at times.
Yes.
You got sandwiches though, right?
We got sandwiches, yeah. But yeah, that'll probably be my only criticism, and I think that's a fairly minor one. I think it was very enjoyable. They didn't really feel like there was much danger at any point, really.
I think that's totally fair. Partially it being a new system for me, like I struggle scaling fights to make them threatening without making them overly long if I don't know the system super well. I don't know if that's a common trait, but it's definitely a thing that I have issues with. And also partially to an extent, like setting Elder Scrolls is less deadly by comparison than World of Darkness is. World of Darkness, you get shot, and if you don't have good healing, which isn't always available, you're probably going to have major issues.
I would argue that maybe it's also partially because we don't do narrative. We only do narrative combat, and we don't do full. And there are perfectly legitimate reasons why we don't do non-narrative combat.
Yeah, I'm not really saying I want to move towards a full combat system. I think it was the right approach to do narrative combat.
Combat's a lot, and I also would like to reiterate that I appreciate people saying throughout the campaign when like, hey, we've been doing too much pure narrative stuff, could we have more rolling, could we have a little bit more fighting combat? But I had a good time with the combat this session, for instance, but half the reason I had a good time with it, I think, is that we did it quite fast, quite freeform. We didn't worry too much about the rules. We were just like, yeah, this is a decent roll, that's a decent roll, let's see who wins and who dies. And we got a really cool death out of it. And it means that Yunbrick got to die a hero instead of living to see himself become basically the villain.
Yeah. I think the other thing I would say, just to tail this off on my ends, is I really enjoyed the integration of existing characters. And just the way that it's taken to different and often absurd ways. I don't think there was a character that you picked out that you didn't add to in some way.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm sad we didn't get to do Athos again. I think I did have
I know.
for your lawyer for no particular reason, but we never got around to that. Yeah, no, appreciate it. Cool. Any other feedback?
I really liked it. If I played again, I would probably play someone with thumbs who could speak freely. It's mainly from me.
I think that's totally fair, and I'm so incredibly impressed with both you and your Nicholas for playing characters who couldn't speak to anyone except under really specific circumstances, and who had no thumbs and were of obscene sizes that made everything really difficult, and yet still really managed to impact the world and the setting and the characters. Just that was. You really made the most of a really difficult player scenario, and props for that.
I really enjoyed just playing something so abnormal. It was a lot of fun.
You did it really
attractive.
Just being able to eat sentient people. I don't know why, but there's just so funny about it.
I mean, minor correction, you did that exactly once, so technically you ate a sentient person.
At the opportunity,
Nick, when you were asking for your boon, I did think you were going to ask if you could have 3 sentient people sent to your tent.
It did come across my mind, actually. I'm not going to lie.
I thought Cole was just going to ask for the albino Khajiit. And he went, I'll take... And I was like, oh, it's not...
Ended up being mine kind of anyway. Subordinate.
Cool. I mean, yeah, he probably also went to the noose right after you, sadly.
That may be unfortunate, but hey, not a test, so...
I mean, big rip Snowball. Cool, any other feedback? No? Fair. Okay then, this is the big one, I guess. Narrative questions. Is there anything anyone was narratively unsure of in that session and or campaign? I can think of at least one point.
Dragonborn.
Yes.
Admit it.
That was the Dragonborn. I know this is a big spoiler, but yeah, no, that was totally the Dragonborn the whole time, and I kept that very secret. But the cover phrase of nearly nude Nord was just there to throw you off.
What were we to him? Did we confuse him greatly?
You were random NPCs. The only one of you who was especially noteworthy was Yunbrick. And even then, Yunbrick mostly did his weird shit when he was AFK or not looking at him.
What happened after... So, after I was, smashed in the face and I was on the ground bleeding out and I said my last phrase, what happened after that?
From his perspective?
From his perspective, and also from, killer vampire, head mage, super powerful lady as well.
I don't know exactly planned out what happened to the court wizard, but basically she was trying to enforce quarantine on the docks as reality broke down and more people were affected. I mentally could not give you an honest answer as to, was she affected? But a lot of people were, and you caused undue havoc and miscellaneous bad shit. In terms of what happened to him, he was down to the last couple of hit points when he crashed to the ground, burning to death. His player got back just in time to be like, oh shit, what's happening? Oh no, fuck, I'm died. I died. Okay, I'll reload a save. Oh no, the save's corrupted. And then he reloads the last save but one, the timeline splits off, and somewhere an alternate Yunbrick is cursing, why didn't it work?
Oh, so you're saying that even wasn't... that kind of... I feel like that takes away a little bit, actually, that he could just load the one save back. If he was... I suppose he was doing...
He might have ended up, because you would have almost certainly gone along the same timeline to a point. So he might have ended up loading quite a few saves back, and potentially even just reset the entire campaign eventually. Gone this run through's fucked. I've got too many mods. I did have people at work pitch that I should have had mods come in as a fun ending, and I didn't get around to it. But a thing that was mentioned that I really wanted to do but never found quite the right time for was have incorporate the cheese rolling by have thousands of wheels of cheese roll down the mountains towards Solitude. We got close to it when reality was really bugging out for you, but then Benji arrived and we'd overrun the time anyway. But there was a point there where I was like, is now the time for the 1,000 wheels of cheese? Oh no, we should focus.
That's fair. There's one way to do, siege warfare is to, pile cheese up against the walls.
Well, you got to brace them all somehow.
Right, yeah. That's cool. Okay, interesting. And did anything happen to the did the object just keep functioning and just keep fucking up shit around it forevermore?
I think it would probably have been like securely contained by some guards who knew what sacrifice they were potentially making. So it's presumably locked away in like the deepest, darkest recesses of Castle Tower right now.
You know what? I'm happy that I've created an artifact that someday someone's going to hear about and maybe quest for. That makes me happy.
I mean, if we ever do Grimdark Future campaign, then, we'll see where that goes. Cool. Any other narrative questions for that campaign?
You say it detracted, it didn't really. But, yeah.
Does anyone want to know what the giant white column of fire was that you never quite figured out?
Yeah. That was going to be my next question.
Oh, you had plenty of time to ask. Okay.
No, I was going to ask it, and I got distracted by my own stuff.
When was there a giant column?
It's the thing that the player was looking at, right?
Yeah. So it was, he had the Steam overlay open and was looking up walkthroughs in the in-game browser. Which none of the NPCs could see, even though they were moving around with the game unpaused, but Ollie could see because Yunbrick was seeing through the veil of time and space.
Absolute motherfucker.
You got so close.
Tab out of my universe.
Sorry?
He shift-tabbed out of my universe.
Shift-tab out of your universe.
Fucker deserves to die. You don't fucking shift-tab out of any universe I'm part of.
You did use that opportunity to corrupt his save.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I say his, the, nebulous player character. The player character was a he. Fuck knows what gender the player was. Any other narrative questions for that campaign?
Nope.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Actually...
Yeah?
I still stand that I can use my claws and get food out of my pouch.
That's not really a question, it's a statement. It's a wrong statement as well.
One of us doing it for you, I thought.
Brought this up
many
many
times. Are you declaring that you still haven't learned what you can and can't do with thumbs?
I will one day prove this to you.
How? Under what circumstances?
I will find a way.
Chop off one of your thumbs, Nick. It's the only way.
It is the only way.
No, you're a terrible influence.
No, not just chop off one of your
ever
thumbs.
suggest that to me.
You shouldn't have multi-digited fingers. So it's chop off one of your thumbs, but also the 2/3 of all your fingers.
2/3 of all.
And somehow become 4-legged as well. And then you...
I already am 4-legged.
No, you're not.
You haven't seen me in months.
I have.
How would you know?
You are not.
Just
hey?
chop your shins in half.
So that's everything there. Does everyone want XP for this session? Just in case we come back to characters who aren't dead. With apologies to Jomo. Well, less apologies to Jomo. He kind of killed himself. But apologies to Ollie.
I mean, okay, I'm going to still take the XP and put it in my elite, in my XP total.
That's fine. You're dead, though.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm also potentially a ghost.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I feel like
there's a narrative question.
One day.
Sorry, Creed?
Has Nazim been spending his XP?
I'm so mad at you right now. Nazim does not have experience points. You know what? Nazim gets eaten.
Our last session's XP to Nazim.
Nazim gets eaten by Alduin.
Well, no, I think Nazim would join the Dragon Cult as long as he left the Cloud District alone. Yeah.
He's the high cultist
of Warlord
Cloud
Nazim
District.
Bloodcrusher.
I tell you what, if we come back to do this setting at any point in the future, I will do a dice toss to see if Nazim is dead or king of Whiterun. Is everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Sure.
I
know you don't toss a dice, you toss a
coin. What I'm hoping for...
Point being, plot progression. Does anyone feel like you made any significant plot progression in this session? And if so, what?
Like, me killing the player character was a pretty fucking solid bit of plot progression there. Also, irrevocably destroying the setting was pretty big as well.
Most of us escaped the city successfully, and Benji nabbed that crown.
I'm for corrupting the timeline.
Completing the campaign.
There is that.
That is very true. Yeah, that's a lot of progression. We should give more than bonus XP, I feel.
Callum, I do feel like at some point you're probably going to try and go searching for your old mate Yumbrick, right?
I might get round to it at some point.
Oh, that's good enough for me. Also, ow.
Sorry, I will be right back for highlights, but I really badly need the toilet. Be right back.
I just realised one plot question that I do need answering.
Do you have thumbs? No.
No, quite seriously. What happened with the whole Daedra's name day, with all that betrayal that went on that day?
Oh yeah, sadly nothing seemed to happen there.
He was probably just jacking off from his Daedric plane. Whatever.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is so good.
That day, a few more stars appeared in the sky. Oh, horrific. Well, okay, Callum, I've got a lot riding on you discovering my body, and I don't know, I have no idea what happened to me. I don't know if I got put in a hole or something, but,
I imagine, the end of the world and the dragons might cause a distraction before...
Yeah, but that's, probably not for, a couple of years, right?
I could try and find, Ulfric's, the Stormcloak's best necromancer, but there isn't really... The Stormcloaks don't really put much stock into mages, so you probably just end up as, a really shitty zombie.
Oh, man. Really shitty zombie with the ability to change your entire timeline.
Yeah, that's is a bit worrying.
Character development. Does anyone feel like they developed their characters this session?
Does having my character die count?
I mean, depends on the manner of your death.
I mean, the manner of my death was fully in line with my expected plot progression, I suppose.
Yeah, so explain to me, what is the development your death achieved?
Satisfaction in finally having defeated my arch nemesis.
Breaking the world?
Yeah, breaking the world.
Before
I die, do I very briefly see another white square above me, but it's just the UI saying you have severed.
No.
Emblazoned across the sky forevermore.
What is this prophecy they speak of? No. Yeah, Nicholas, what were you going to say?
Does Catclop progression? He's almost a lifelong dream now of having his name immortalized with his face.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be sassy. At what point have you ever evinced that as even a desire?
Oh, the amount of times I've shown anger at being called Catclop.
I mean, yeah, but you've never talked about a portrait.
No, but it's a expression, yes, you cannot deny this is my name now.
Lots of people have called you your name before, and your usual response is to murder them.
Well, yes, because I can't talk.
So, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm going to tentatively say I don't think this is character development. It's a cool note for your character, but it's not like a theme you've been working on. It's more a thing that happened, because you've not been unequivocally striving for this idea of respect and people calling you Dolwyn Bar. You've more been randomly lashing out against mostly people who do call you that or adjacent because of your anger at the people who don't call you that.
In which case, I demand that we get something for Ulfric getting that crown, and Alduin
Ulfric is
conquering the entire place.
Alduin. There's no fucking hyphen in it. Alduin is an NPC. Ulfric is an NPC.
They had very strong character development.
I will murder you.
I would say that both Revere and Arnulf both did succeed in getting to the cart and getting their items. Revere realised his dreams of impressing Ulfric's empire.
I love the idea that come campaign 2, 50 years in the future, it's basically that movie Reign of Fire, but in Tamriel. Dragons all over the place, but the cart is still in the impound lot, and fucking Jobo's alchemy set is still there.
This time the cart is in Helgen.
We have to go back.
We have to
back
go
to the place it first started, the ruins of Helgen.
We'll get the gang back together.
It's not what everyone sends. It's still what everyone sends. The elderly people of Skyrim, but just for them to disappear now.
You could totally do 60 years from now, and Zanzarim's son, who's just Rat.
Sorry, there was one thing actually Youngbrick does have. One last fleeting thought. as he kills the nearly nude Nord.
You've been dead for an hour and a half, mate.
I know, but I also forgot to say this at the time. I've also Slasher's thought of it, but it'd be a nice thing that he already would have thought was at least his friends are safe now.
No,
I don't think that's very in line with how you were acting towards the end, especially when you saw your best, most arguable friend had the option to maybe try helping him, and immediately sold him down the river for your worthy cause.
There is also that.
I mean, yeah, but also I saw multiple people of my group being stabbed multiple times and deleted out of existence, and now that's not happening, and that was the original catalyst as to why I went so crazy in trying to develop this thing. Remember when I saw Creed being stabbed multiple times?
The original catalyst for Darth Vader becoming a fascist is his mother getting killed, and that doesn't mean that he then... You see, like, all of the bad shit he does later isn't immediately tempered by, but at least my mam is avenged.
Yeah.
Especially not when you think of it an hour and a half after it happened.
I was just thinking that probably would have been something that Young Brick would have thought.
I don't think tonally that makes sense. And also, literally, as the person who was playing him at the time, it didn't occur to you.
Okay, that's a fair shout, I suppose.
I'm, again, not trying to be mean, but Yunbrick, by the end, was basically a mad scientist slash...
I'd like to think I'm mad and a scientist, not a mad scientist.
Mad scientist slash chrono-terrorist. He was not a tremendously sociable man.
You know what? I like the term chrono-terrorist. I'm going to stick with that, I think.
Any other character development for that session? No.
Does it count? Everyone in the party got nearly everyone in the party. Well, no, everyone in the party got what they wished for. That'd be like a group one. Like, everyone got kind of what they wanted, right?
I mean, ultimately, like, Jomo just got dead.
Yeah, we lost Jomo, but I assume we still escaped Skyrim, right? In our sweet new cart.
Oh yeah, like Jomo didn't die till quite a while afterwards.
Yeah, I would say it's a fair shout that eventually we all got what we wanted at the time. That's like some group XP, maybe.
Excellence of roleplay. Does anyone think anyone else roleplayed particularly well in this session?
Yes, Jomo and Zanzrim for the whole taking the boat and getting to Ulfric first. That was all just golden.
I really loved the Grand Theft boat, and in future would dearly love to do more boat-themed Elder Scrolls hijinks. Fucking hilarious. I've always wanted to do... there's a thing where the Empire tries to invade kind of fantasy Asia that I've always really wanted to do a campaign in. At some point, maybe. They have for Carl's reference, I don't think anyone else here was around for it, so they will get it, but Carl, there's a whole thing where they have to set up the stumble relay as the only... Right? It's adorable, but also terrifying, where they have the stumble relay that goes from Tamriel to this, like, terrifying continent in the east they're trying to conquer, and then one day it just stops after increasing desperate messages from the east and then cut off.
It's kind of terrifying.
It's really terrifying, but it's a really well written part of the fiction, and I've always wanted to do like a lost colony off in the east section.
It'd be good, but you'd have to invent so much extra lore out of thin air.
I would probably just use the Elder King's version of it, honestly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sorry, yes, excellence of roleplay.
I don't think we can ignore Ollie. Just the entire combat was RP. I'm sorry, it's just amazing.
Yumbrick's mad scientist there. Anything else?
Castle hijinks with I can never remember the Lord's names. I just can't. I'm so sorry, guys.
The same as all the others.
Arnulf.
Exactly.
Arnulf and Ravin.
Yeah. Exactly. They're those guys.
We're people too.
That and then sticking out the bolting, the just walking normally, and just bolts.
Yeah.
the sassy murder of 9 people by one and 1 person by the other, and just being like, yeah, we're fucking sneaky spies, we are.
Okay, then to bring us speedily on to the highlights section, I make that out to be 210 experience points for finishing the campaign. That is 60 points for plot progression. Umbric killed the Dragonborn, irrevocably destroying the setting. Arnulf stole the jagged crown, and completed, that's not how you spell that even, completed the campaign. Or completing, present participle. 20 points character development. Umbric martyrs himself against reality. Revere and Arnulf got their cart items. Zanzarim got a cart. Counts. 30 points excellence of roleplay. Umbric's mad scientist death. Castle hijinks with Arnulf and Revere. The whole boat theft section. And the whole escape from Castle Dower section. Plus your standard 100 general. And finally, it's everyone's favourite part of the session and or campaign. It's the highlights. Who should we go with first? Young Nicholas, you've had the least screen time this whole session and last couple of sessions. Do you have any highlights for that session?
There are so many, and I don't want to steal them.
It's not stealing. Just go with whatever you got.
And now I'm going blank.
Do you want us to come back? We can come back.
I have to say, Catclop portrait.
Cool. Anything else?
What?
I'll leave it there for now.
Why did you call it Catclop for the portrait?
God damn it! No, it's not portrait.
The brainwashing finally took. Oh my god! If we ever do a fucking, I say if we ever do. Next time we do a Rogue Trader campaign, I'm bringing in alien domestic cat horses, and we're calling them Catclops. I just want everyone to remember that. That's happening.
It's you guys say it so much that's just worked its way into my psyche as well. That's why.
Matt forgets his name is Matt, and he always thinks he's Mal now. It's a thing that happens.
Yeah, I still get wigged out when people address him as Matt.
Right?
Yeah,
same.
Exactly. The power.
It's not my real name.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why would you call him Matt?
Exactly.
That's weird.
That's not how he spells his name. He spells his name W.
His name is Mao, and he unironically has a little red book. Okay, cool. Ollie, do you have any highlights for that session?
Oh, okay. So the the sneaky murder of the personal guards to the not God Emperor or God General Tullius.
Okay, I've paraphrased that slightly from not God Emperor, not God General Tullius. But
yeah,
carry on.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a fair shout. Yeah, Grand Theft Boat.
That's what it's called. Anything else?
Also, just before that, I fall to my knees, seeing the lack of boat fucking slayed me.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not clear on what that highlight was, I'm afraid.
So that's where Revere saw where his boat was.
And the paw prints.
No longer there.
Yeah, Catclop's paw in the mud.
Yeah. Catclop's paw in the mud, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something. That was fucking amazing.
The butler leaving. You did.
Do you have a spare one of those?
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry. I probably should have said this for quest rewards. Dialing back a bit, you were owed another 9G, so that's 18G between the 5 of you. 18 kg. Divided by 5 it would have been 3,600 per character, excluding Yunbrick.
So you're saying if I had just, lived and then killed the Dragonborn after this?
Yeah, that would have been an entirely different state of affairs.
Well,
what do you say? You die in both those scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance in the second scenario I just reverse pickpocket him. The second scenario being that, I survive, it doesn't matter. So yeah, Grand Theft Boat, Catclop's paw in the mud. Yeah, everyone's stealing everything that isn't nailed down as soon as the butler leaves. Yeah, that's me. That's me done. Oh, I guess I'm going to say, actually, I What was it? I said, I have the time bomb.
That was one hell of a one-liner. Tim, that's how you spell that. Cool. Carl, do you have any highlights for that session?
Guard spits in helmet.
I forgot that. Anything else?
It's a little grim, so I'm not sure I want to include it, but cat grinds into puddle.
Several times. Were there not two of those? Oh no, some of them were people.
You explicitly said one was a cat, most were people.
Most were people. One of them grinded, like, through a wall. But hey,
through a wall?
Sorry?
How do you grind through a wall? Was it pressure, or was it...
Messily. Sorry, pressure. You corrupted the save.
So they were just like flickering in and out of the wall and just losing bits themselves.
They were clipping into reality.
It was straight up clipping. Okay, I did wonder if it was clipping or
from
sheer
the perspective of people going through that. So, yeah. That is how they experienced it within fleshy reality.
How did the cats experience it?
The same way, torturously. Unable to stop it. Yeah, just unable to stop it. Don't know why I intoned that as though there was going to be a follow-up sequence. No, it's just horrifying pain.
Okay, cool.
Slowly ground down to a fleshy nub.
Well, you know what? I cause a little bit of pain to cause an unending era of peace.
Exactly. And then he dies. Carl, any other highlights?
Ending the game on 100.
Oh, so good.
That was beautiful. I'm always so happy to see a crit fail stand, especially, like, end of campaign. Beautiful.
Have we got that ever before? I feel like maybe once.
I am almost positive that Sorcerer's ended on 100. Something's definitely ended on 100 before.
One other thing has ended on 100. And I feel like it may have been Cole both times.
Carl does... Like, I love you, Carl, but your luck is atrocious.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Like, a lot of the time I do leave hunts to ride, so...
I do also like that as well. Not that I'm criticizing people for wanting to, like, re-roll really shitty results, but as a GM, I have the most fun with hundreds. Like, especially compared to, like, a 1 in D&D, because 100 is a fifth the rarity. They're so much rarer. It's really beautiful, the stupid shit you can do with 100. Oh, dear. Any other highlights, Carl?
That's it for me, thanks.
Cool. Callum, do you have any highlights for that session?
Sure. So there's fetch me my funny Stormcloak outfit. And in that same vein, a tiny saucer of wine.
Oh, I'm gonna listen back to these fucking episodes. Any other highlights?
The Leaky Argonian Maid.
Just out of context, that's beautiful. Even in context, really.
Any of the highlights?
Just so wonderful. The many betrayals of Revere.
Big hugs, man. Big hugs.
I look forward to the next one, where Revere has just launched a hostile coup, taken over from Ulfric, and declared himself the Mad King of all Skyrim, from his wasteland in the middle of Wilhelm.
Truly the best timeline.
It'll be like the end of the latest Star Wars film. Just out in the desert. What's your name? Revere Stormcloak?
Oh dear. I need to watch Mandalorian. Any other highlights, Callum?
You do. No, I think that's good from me.
Cool. Creed, any highlights for that session?
Most mine were taken. But I have one similar to another one, which is just terrain clipping is terrifying.
Like I said, it led us all onto a better timeline.
Any other highlights for that session, Creed?
I did have another one. It's not very concise though. It was Ollie's plans to ignite a man in a crowd.
I mean,
while he was planning just to set a man on fire with a crowd of people around him.
I really thought Ollie was like, especially because I was throwing him a lot of mild.
He did it as well, the madman.
To his credit, right? Ollie got thrown a lot of mild, but like consistent, repeated mild curveballs in that whole planning process, and he took each and every one of them in turn. Not necessarily very well, but he took him in good humor and good faith, and he won out in the end, which is a lot more than I could say for. I mean, me under those circumstances, I feel. Cool. Any final highlights from anyone then? Yeah, Nicholas, you thought you had quite a few and wound up with one.
Yeah.
Did we miss out any of your others, or have we mostly covered them? No pressure, I'm just checking.
No, there was, sorry guys.
Any highlights from anyone else then, whilst your Nicholas is thinking? Because have we still got Benji? No, he's totally checked out.
Long gone.
That's fair. Cool. Any final highlights?
It's the one where Creed used his head voice to make people do something. I suppose it was like an event that happened near the end of the session.
Yeah, he found Catclop against impossible odds with fairly little... Because it was extremely difficult for Catclop to find anyone else, but actually fairly trivial for everyone else to find Catclop. He just effortlessly solved Jon Nicholas's insurmountable problems and then continued walking and stole the boat.
I love the description of telepathy as head voice.
Yeah. So
it's Cat Gang reunion.
Kind of like a mixture of that, but also you going, oh yeah, I forgot about this incredible power you have to completely negate my malices. Yeah, head voice is how it translates from Old English. Totally. 100%.
I mean, quite possibly. It sounds Old English. Cool. In that case, are we all done for highlights? Sounds like.
Yeah.
Any final words for the recording? Pressure.
100.
Everyone really trying.
100.
Yeah, 100.
100.